Hello and welcome to Protoss Bronze 3. Protoss Bronze 3, everybody. In this video, we're taking everything we learned before in... Or sorry, did I say Bronze 3? Scratch that. Silver 3. Scratch that. Sorry, my bad. Welcome to Silver 3, guys. We're taking everything we learned in Bronze and we're expanding upon it. We're going to make sure everything's going right. We're going to start talking about things like how to wall. And we're going to, build upon everything we already are doing, but doing it a little bit better. So, now, we're against a Protoss player. We're also going to start, so we're going to add in another unit to our composition. We're going to add in another unit to our composition. We're going to add in a tiny bit of scouting. It's going to give us a reaction, which we can have in the game. And we're going to go into, what's it called? We're going to go into, Jesus, sorry. I'm like doing like 3 things at once right now. New unit, new scout, and just faster versions of what we were doing before. That's the goal, boys. So again, what are we doing as a default? 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. Let's make probes and get ready to make units on the gateway. This time around, we made our gateway, and then as soon as we made our gateway, we sent our probe out to go scout. We're going to do this basic, okay? We're just looking at this guy's base and going, what are you doing? Cool. Are we going in the main base yet? No. Are we worried about the main base so far right now? Not really. We just want to know, did our opponent set up an expansion or not? And our opponent did. He did. Like, he literally went straight up Nexus right off the bat. So this is a super quick Nexus from the Protoss. And if you see that, it means you're totally fine. It means you don't have to worry about nothing. You got nothing to worry about, dude. Okay, so we're going to go and make a pylon. Let's get our gas or our mineral priority followed up by gas. Again, everything we talked about before is still the priority of what we're doing. We're not switching that at all. We can saturate our mineral line right now. There we go. Rally our base. Grab this one probe off. Rally it to the natural. And something we did as well that's important to note this game is we walled our ramp. Now to wall a ramp properly, just know when you build a building, see how there's like a big pylon radius there? The entire building does not need to fit inside the pylon radius. Only the edges of the building need to fit. So if the edge of the pylon field is right there, it means I don't have to put a gateway right there. I can put it like right there. Because again, the center of the building is still inside of it. So even though that part of the gateway sticks out of the pylon field, it still works. I'll show you once we make another pylon. We can do it actually like right here. I'll make another pylon like right here and I'll show you what I mean. Okay. So we're currently boosting our Nexus and we're just making probes. Just like before. Let's make our robo. And now let's check this out. Look at the gateway, okay? Notice how I can see how the gateway is sticking out? The center of it's still inside of it. But see how the bottom of the gateway is sticking out of the circle? If I make the center of it go out of the circle, you can't build it. But as long as the center is inside, you can always build, even though the edge of the gateway is out. So it makes it really easy to wall, like that, if you understand that concept, about how to place your pylons. Because a lot of people think they have to place their entire building inside a pylon field, and it's not true. It's just the center of the building. It's just the center of the building, boys. And, yep, that's what we're doing. Thank you, Rob. Okay, and now we can make a couple extra pylons because again we're getting close to spy blocking. Let's go ahead and make an observer first. And because here's another thing too, because we saw, we'll talk more about this at the end as well. We'll break down this first replay so we have an understanding of what we're looking for throughout the series of silver. But because we saw a Nexus, we are not going to make a shield battery. If we did not see a Nexus, we would make a shield battery. What does that mean? If our opponent invests into an expansion, they're not going to attack us. They can't. It's impossible. You don't have enough money to attack if you expand right away. But if they don't expand right away, that means they're not investing in expansion, and they totally can attack us right away. So we need a battery to not die, like to make sure we don't die. So because we saw an expansion, we're skipping the battery this game in the early stage. We're eventually going to add batteries at some point, but for now, we're skipping it. We don't need it yet because we're fine. Yo, Snack Up, thank you, man.
I went back and counted my coal warp gate time. On average it was 40 seconds to a whole minute to even sometimes 2 whole minutes. Veritable filth is what that is. Bronze? No, how about scummy Driftwood League? In any case, it's...
Where was it? In any case, it's good to catch you live. Thank you very much, Snack Up. Much love, man. I appreciate the support. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. Keep improving, dude. Yeah. Yeah, we can go back to chrono boosting. Concepts are still the same on our army. So again, all we've added since Silver League, or going into Silver League now from Bronze, is we added in the initial scout. We are continuing to do everything we're doing before, but we're trying to now max out at 10:30 instead of 11 minutes. So we're going a little bit faster. And then we're going to eventually add in one more unit as well to our composition, which is going to be Archons. So we'll break it all down as we get there, okay? Because again, we're just building on top of what we already know from Bronze, and we're just trying to like increase the strength of what we do. So fully saturated, what are we going to do? We're going to expand again. Okay. Let's go ahead and take our gas now. Let's also take our more units. 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Try and keep pumping units like crazy. Now our money is starting to get out of hand a little bit. Again, we can't really spend, like I'm on cooldown and everything. I can't spend my money anymore. It's starting to go up pretty fast. So this time we're gonna do this now. We're gonna go forge, and council. Okay. What's this base looking like? It's
B2GM bitches less than 3.
Yo, thank you very much, Daft Matt. Much love, dude. Grab some probes off. Send them to my new base. Re-rally all my nexus to this new base. And keep making units. And now, again, money's going up faster than I can spend it. We're almost done making probes as well. So let's go ahead and get ready here to add on maybe like an extra like 4 gates. Just so I can have some extra production to work with here. Hold shift, right click the mineral line. Now here's the tricky part. Now we made 2 forges instead of 1. Because we're adding more diversity to our composition, so we're going to go for weapons and we're going to go for shields. Both upgrades now. Just for the simplicity of like, we'll explain why we do this later, but it'll make your life so much easier going through from here now. Again, it requires a little more effort on your part, but overall, it's going to help a lot. Okay, so we're actually at 85 probes now. We canceled 2 because we were at 87. So now we're at 85. And our main base, or rather our 4th base, is fully saturated, so let's go ahead and take another base. Make a couple pylons at it. Bases are mining out. Let's transfer probes that are mining out. Transfer some probes to these gases. Dun. Gas. This base is over by 2, so let's transfer down to here. Cool beans. Keep making units. And bridge burners, no, I don't think so. I disagree with that. He asks, 5, wouldn't Colossus be good for Silver League? And I say no to that because there's 2 reasons. One is we haven't really been balancing our economy the best in terms of how much late game gas we have. And Archons balance that a lot. And number 2, Archons can't hit air. And if you find yourself in Silver League and you don't scout your opponent ever, and they're just going mass air, Colossus do literally nothing. So, no, I disagree with Colossus being something we should make right now. We should definitely not make Colossus. We'll eventually get to Colossus, but it's a ground-only unit. It requires actual knowledge of scouting your opponent to make sense. Immortals are only good because we're not massing them. We're just making like the 1 robo, and it's really good at breaking bases. Colossus are really good at breaking light unit armies. So they're way more specific to what's going on. Okay, and now let's make one more round of soccer. Okay. And now we can transfer some probes again. We can actually probably take another base. Take another base. And now let's take a stalker and scout both sides. So this game, we're about to max out. And it's a roughly right around what we were looking for. Right around 1030 max. We maxed out at like 1017. Wonderful. Now we can go for 2-2 upgrades of weapons and shield. Good stuff. And now we're at this point we're getting our our monies are in to bank up like crazy. We only 8 production buildings though, so let's go ahead and fix that. Let's make a bunch more gates somewhere. Don't make that last gate right there. We can just recancel it. So go here, 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 here. Hold shift, right click the mineral line. Make some gateways like over here or something. Gateway, 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 gateway. Hold shift, click the mineral line. Gateway, gateway, gateway. Maybe like one more robo. Hold shift, right click the mineral line. Let's grab it all. Let's grab it all. Control click, shift 4. Control click, shift 4. Click the robo, shift 4. We actually made 27, so we went a little overboard. Again, it's totally fine. Now, let's go ahead and A move. Look at it. He's got bases everywhere, guys. So let's A move here first. Let's A move there second. Let's A move there third. Let's A move there fourth. So he's got bases everywhere. We're just going to move one side of the map and we're going to work our way in. And when our army, if it dies, our next max out will go this way first and then move our way in. Because he might have bases all over there. Okay. Now, we need to make our Templar Archives so we can actually also now make Archons. Because again, this is going to help us spend our gas. And in the meantime, let's just go back to making Immortals and Stalkers until we can now also make some Archons on top of that. Okay. So, here we go. Check our mineral fields being depleted as well. Fix that. Send some stuff over here. We can take our gases as well while we're at it. Hold shift, right click the mineral line. This space needs to be fixed. Fix that. Send it over somewhere else because we're trying to maintain optimal saturation. That's how we're going to overpower our opponent at the end of the game here. Okay, now we're starting to add in some Archons. Okay, we just made a bunch of Archons. Nice. That's a lot of Archons, guys. Now we can go back into making our Immortals. Let's saturate our resources at our bases. Make sure our bases are still running pretty well. Good. Okay, now we gotta fix that. Can make another round of Stalkers. Okay, we're actually getting attacked right now, which is fine. So let's go ahead and warp in our units. And go ahead and attack them now. Take our army, A move here. Hold shift, A move there, 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 there. So we're going to go defend our base first, and then we're going to go attack his bases in order on the outside right after. Because we just killed the outer base here, so now we really want to kill this base here, but we're going to defend first, then attack after. Now we can start upgrading our upgrades again. Weapons and armor. Or sorry, rather, weapons and shield. And again, we'll talk about the build when we get through this game here. So we can check our resources out on top right. We're a little bit low on gas, a little high on minerals. Let's actually take some gas here. We're a little bit low on gas. We're a little bit high on minerals. Let's take some gas here. Because again, we're looking at our resources and we're definitely over, producing out of our gas at this point now, at this point in the game. So let's start making the army again. Okay, cool, good stuff. Good stuff. We can currently boost our upgrades. We can currently boost our robos. Mineral fields depleted. Fix it right now. Fix that thing every single time. Fix it, fix it, fix it. This is good. This needs to be fixed. Send it somewhere else. Still maintaining 85 probes. Another mineral field depleted just now. It's right here. Let's grab some probes off and send them elsewhere. We can even take it. We're actually getting pretty close to full saturation again on everything, so let's take another base. Okay. Another mineral field depleted. Another one up here. Let's send them elsewhere. Okay, bases are good. Bases are good. We have a lot of units sitting here, so how about our army's not really dying that fast. So let's make another army. We're about ready to move out again. Okay. So let's once again select all army. A move the outer base. Shift. A move the outer base. Shift. A move the inner base. A move the main base. Okay. And we're still good to go. We can make another round of units. Our minerals, we're looking at our minerals and gas a lot, and it's still now heavy on the minerals and lighter on the gas, so let's still continue to make units like Immortals and Stalkers. And why are we doing that? Why does it make sense that we're doing that? Look at the cost of the unit. The Immortal is almost 3 times the cost of minerals to gas. 275 mineral to 100 gas. It's a lot more mineral than gas. Our Stalker is 125 to 50. That's again almost 3 times the cost of minerals to gas. So if we have more minerals than gas, let's spend minerals over gas. Right now what we're understanding is cost of what we're making. Like, we're understanding the concept of, oh, okay, our army composition we're making right now is being made based off of what we have, and that's it. Like, what can we afford, essentially? And we can definitely afford to make Stalkers, and we can definitely afford to make Immortals. Now we have a bunch of empty probes here. Let's send them somewhere else. Like over to this base, we can even take our gas while we're at it. Hold shift. Good stuff. Every other base is still looking pretty decent. Every other base is looking good. This base needs to be fixed. This base is looking good. Send some probes over here. Okay, all my bases are looking good. GG. And now if we, let's just say, much love, man. Let's say we make another round of Stalkers again. And now we're making an army that is, again, we spend 3 times as much minerals as we do gas. We spend 3 times as much minerals as we do gas. So what does this mean? If eventually, if we don't have 3 times as much minerals as gas, and we're just making Stalkers and Immortals and Stalkers and Immortals, our minerals are going to eventually go below our gas if units are being traded a lot. So what can we do? Let's look at our gateway again and talk about the other unit we added into our composition. We've added only one more unit into our composition so far, and it's an Archon. And this Archon costs 3 times as much gas as it does minerals. So, you know, and
Keep up
thank
the
you.
Good work. Always enjoy your content as a 2010 player. I feel old, lol.
Yeah, I feel old too, man. It's all good. Thank you very much for the 100 biddies. Appreciate you, dude. But what the concept of this means is if we actually have an understanding of what the hell our economy is doing. So, for instance, let me give you a for instance. If I have 7,000 minerals in the bank, plus I have 1,600 or 1,500 gas. Okay? If that's my economy, if I have 1,500 gas and 7,000 minerals, what does that mean? It means if I make a unit that costs 3 times as much gas as I have minerals, it means that I'm going to end up being, instead of 7,000 minerals and 1,500 gas, instead of that, I'm going to be at 6,500 minerals and 0 gas. That's not a good rotation of making our army. And now we have to figure out what the hell we want to do with those minerals. And there always is something you can do later on. Again, we're not doing it yet. We're not worried about... we'll get there when we get there. And just a disclaimer alert, we can make zealots. But for now, we're not worried about zealots yet. Zealots will come later. And the reason why we're not worried about zealots yet is because we are not actually looking at our opponent's base yet. So if our opponent is actually going mass air and we're making a bunch of zealots, it's going to be a little bit harder to deal with because zealots can't hit air. So we're keeping it super simple right now for scouting purposes, and we're just going, okay, we're making things that mainly can make they can hit air, and also Immortals. The reason why we make Immortals, even though they can't hit air, is because they are so ridiculously good at defending against all-ins early game. They're really powerful units, and also they're really tanky. Like when you have an army pushing forward, if you have like 4 Immortals in the front line, they're so ridiculously strong at absorbing damage. They're super tanks. They buy your army more time to like stay alive. They're really effective in your army. We're not making mass Immortals. We're just making some because, again, what is our ratio of production? It's like 22 gateways or like 23 gateways to 2 robos. It's not 23 robos to 2 gateways. So it's still a gateway-focused army with a couple robos. So it's going to be like Immortals support our army a little bit, essentially. But anyways, now going back to this, okay? So now if I go back to my resources, which is the 1,500 gas and the 7,000 minerals, it makes more sense if I spend my ratio of like 3 to 1. I'm spending 3 minerals to every 1 gas. So if I actually now deplete my gas, it's going to deplete 4,500 of these minerals, which is going to leave us with 2,500 minerals left over. And again, my economy will keep going back up. And now next time, if by the time I have 1,500 gas, I only have 5,000 minerals, suddenly now we only have 500 minerals left in the bank and 0 gas. And then if they both go back up, and now if by the next time, if I have 1,500 gas, if I only have 3,000 minerals, I'm not actually going to be able to deplete all my gas anymore by depleting all my minerals. So what I'm trying to say is when you get to these points where your economy goes like this, it goes lopsided, right? Where it's like more minerals than gas. We're going to make more cost mineral units, more units that cost more minerals. I said that weird the first time. More mineral heavy costing units, stalkers, immortals, and suddenly our economy will balance out a bit more. And if we keep doing that, our economy will start favoring gas a bit more because we're spending minerals way faster than gas. And if we ever get in that moment where it's like, okay, well now we have, let's say we have 4,000 gas and we only have 3,000 minerals. We actually have more gas than minerals. We can make a round of Archons, which is 3 to 1 gas, and suddenly the economy goes right back into fucking mineral favored. And we go right back into immortals and stalkers. And it goes backwards. It literally becomes a balancing act of we spend gas, we spend minerals, we spend gas, we spend minerals, we spend gas, we spend minerals. So, and again, it's mostly going to be like we spend minerals, 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 gas, minerals, 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 gas. Like, it's not going to be literally one rotation after the other because you don't mine gas as fast as you mine minerals in this game. So it's going to be like a 3 to 1 usually. Few waves of mineral units and then a wave of gas units. So we don't have a situation where it's like, well, I have 7,000 gas vibe and I only have 2,000 minerals. And you're telling me to make stalkers again? No. What we're doing is we're balancing our economy now. We're trying to not only understand at this point in the game, not only are we trying to understand how to make an economy, now we're trying to think about it and go, how do we spend an economy? Like, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, what are we going to make that does this? And finally, the last bit of it is for the composition. Why are we choosing to make Archons with this? Archons are another unit that is amazing. It's like self-sufficient at like just A moving. It kills everything. It's really effective. It's a big tanky unit that does air and ground attacks. It's on the ground and it hits air and ground. It does splash damage. And it's a pretty decent tank. It's not the best tank, but it's decent. It's got a lot of health. It's got 360 in total, 350 shields and 10 hit points. But it's effective. It's really good. It's a solid unit to have. Now, another thing about our build that changed is we added on a second forge. And why did we add on a second forge? We added on a second forge to add in a second upgrade, which was shields. And shields not only is going to increase the power of our stalkers and our immortals because they also have shields, but it is also going to increase the tankiness of our Archons, which have 350 shields. I don't have any at the moment, unfortunately, but I had one earlier. But an Archon, again, it has 350 shields, so it's going to increase the tankiness of those bad boys. And I think we make it after our first max. So let's just get to an Archon really, really quickly. And here we go. I think we make Archons right here. There we go. We're making Archons. So you can see an Archon right here. 350 shields. This thing is super tanky with shields. It's all shields pretty much. And we're upgrading it as well. And it's going to make our army more durable, more powerful, essentially. It's going to last longer now. And then finally, the big thing it does too that's super helpful. This is what I like, actually. Once I'm going to give you a disclaimer, okay? Disclaimer alert. Once we're higher level, there's very few builds. Like once we're like Diamond Plus or like Masters, There's very few builds that I'm going to tell you to do that go double forge and take a shield upgrade. Okay? It's not a lot of builds that are going to do that. It does happen, but it's not really that common. And the reason why is because having shield upgrades low level adds so much extra potential for us to deal with people who attack us and harass us, and when we're not trying to play with 400 APM. So you're trying to get good at like macroing. You're trying to get good at developing your base. And if you ever have a Zerg player or a Terran player or someone like drop you or do a run by, attack you in some way, you're like you're out of position. You're not ready for it. Your buildings and your probes also get shield upgrades. So it makes counterattack strategies where people attack you while you're not there. It makes those strategies all weaker now because your base is tankier. So like if how many raise your hand if you're a Protoss player and you're like, I fucking hate Mutalisks. Well, guess what? This build's gonna help you a shitload now. Mutalisks come in your base, and if he has no weapon upgrade mutas, and you have level 3 armor probes, your probes are gonna last so much longer than they would have otherwise, like a shitload longer. So it's just gonna make your life easier dealing with people who who just multi-prong attack you if they ever try to do that. It makes it way easier. So it just makes setting up the game better for you. And again, we're gonna build on top of this concept as we grow as a player, and we'll explain everything that we do and all that stuff. But again, for now, I feel like this is a good addition to helping you understand how to set up an economy. And now, again, we're trying to pay attention to, okay, we know how to build an economy now. We're going to keep trying to do that, but not only do it, but do it faster and faster. But now we're also going to try to understand what the hell what the hell economy spending means. Not just make units, and if we can't spend our money, build more buildings. That's basic, but that's still important to know. But now, well, what if I have a lot of gas, or what if I have a lot of minerals? Well, you should be making a unit that supplements your army really well, that costs more gas heavy, so you can maximize your resources, or make units that maximize your minerals longer if you're very light gas, very heavy mineral. It just makes more sense if you don't just like build things you can't afford properly. Okay, so now we can go into the the replay here and kind of just see the fights, how they went, that kind of stuff. And again, this is pure A move. We're still not microing, guys. And the last thing we added into the strategy now is I know a lot of players out there from early on in the game. I'll actually back it up and I'll give you a visual really fast because I know some people won't really like pay attention unless I give the visual. You'll be like, wait, what? What are you talking about? But don't worry, I got you, man. I got you. When you get to a point like this, okay? So players out there that are sober, or anyone else who's watching this, you might think you don't agree with this. And I can see why you would not agree with this, okay? But I want to explain it really fast. This is my point of view. So if I was watching a player play this game and they do this, if we're trying to just overall build ourselves up as a player, I would rather you scout the natural and then leave the base right away. Like, just look at the natural and go, what do you have? If they have nothing, the only reaction I want you to do from this is go, okay, well, as soon as I make a pylon at my natural, I'm going to make a battery. That's it. So if they don't have a base here, if there is nothing here, make a battery here. Shield battery. If they do have a natural, skip the battery until basically much later in the game, like when you're closer to maxing out. Or just never make it at all. For now. Again, this is not going to be what we're going to do all the way through GM. But for now, again, we're starting to like slowly develop ourselves as a scout player, scouting mindset. And this is the only thing I want you to look at for now. I just want you to know, do they or do they not have an expansion? And this is the reason why. Super easy reaction. This tells you no aggression. This tells you, like, pretend this is his natural and he's just scouted it and there's nothing there. It'd be like, oh, he's going to be aggressive. Why is he going to be aggressive? Chances are he's going to be aggressive. Because if someone does not want to build a nexus right away, it means they probably want to build more gateways. It means they probably want to build more barracks. It means they might have gone for a spawning pool first. And if they do these things, the chances of them attacking you are a lot higher. So if you just make a shield battery and do the build as is, you're probably going to be fine. And when I say probably, again, that's me saying probably because I'm not telling you that if you follow this guide that you're going to win 100% of your games forever because you might not execute it perfectly and all these kinds of things. But if you just stick to the guide as much as you can, you're probably going to win. Chances are more than 50% that you're going to have a good result here. That's why it's going to help you. So if you do see a natural again, we don't build a battery. And if you don't see a natural, you do build a battery. So it's the opposite. No natural, build battery. There is a natural, no battery then. So you build if they don't build, or you don't build if they build. Finally, the reason why we also do this, and we don't actually take our probe and go into the main base yet, is because of this reason. If I told you as a silver player, a silver player, if I go, hey, silver guy, scout the main, and you go like this, okay. And you leave. And I go, okay, what does that mean? What do you think? I feel like if you're a silver player genuinely listening to me right now, and I ask you, what did you just see? What does that mean? You'd probably be like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure, but let me think about that. And then here's the crazy part, right? It would be like this. So I'm going to put myself in a silver player's mindset really fast. It would be something like this. Well, I mean, he could be going for air. He could be going for a robo. I mean, he also might want to tech to DTs. I know Skytoss is really popular nowadays, so maybe he'll want to go Skytoss. Maybe he'll go for whatever, right? It's like you just start naming these fucking builds that are just random. It has no purpose being said right now. No, that's not good scouting. If you if your brain starts thinking that way, where it's like he might do random builds I know exist that I've seen before. No, that's bad. That's super bad. No. That's not what you want to scout like. This is what you should, and here's how you should scout. And again, I don't expect a server player to have this kind of information to like in their mind, but this is what you should think when you really scout this. Okay? If you go like this, if you're like, boop, go into base, shift over, go around, and leave. There's a bunch of information we just saw right there. Okay? And here's what it is. Number one, he doesn't even have a gateway done yet. So what does that mean? Zero aggression. It means whatever he's doing is late. That's what you should not. We don't know shit about. He's going to go Skytoss. He's going to go Robo. He's going to go Council. He's going to go Dark Templar. We don't know anything about his tech choice yet. He has not made a choice yet. All we know is that whatever his choice is going to be is late. And why is it late? Because he went Nexus first. So what does that mean? It means whatever he does choose, yes, it's going to be later than it normally would be now because he's not rushing it. But it means that when he does finally get it, he has the ability to have more of it because he has more money going into it with his natural. That's what this means so far. Secondly, what else did we see besides the gateway not being done yet, which is his whole tech path? We saw there's only one gas. The fact that there's only one gas means that this build has been at least efficient enough to go, okay, it's not double gas before taking our gateway. If someone goes double gas, they should be rushing their tech. If someone goes single gas, it's more than okay to fast expand into, then going for tech afterwards because it's less gas, but your tech is delayed anyway, so the less gas totally makes sense. So one gas means still mineral focus. It means an economic focus. So he's really committed to the gateway. And now what's the third thing we saw? We saw there was no chrono boost on the Nexus. And what does that mean? If this fucking guy has spent all of his chrono boost before his gateway's done, before any tech building is out, what is the only thing he can chrono boost? Is he going to chrono boost a pylon? You can't even chrono boost a pylon, just so you guys know. Anyone who's like, can you do that? No, you can't chrono boost a pylon. It doesn't let you do that. But it means the only building he can chrono boost is a Nexus. And what does a Nexus build? Does it build Zealots? Does it build Stalkers? No, it builds probes. It only builds probes. So that means that this guy's economy is he's fully focused on economy. Delayed gas, delayed tech, extra chrono boost for probes, fast expand. Everything he's doing is all economically focused. That's all this means so far. And would I expect a server player to know that? Fuck no, I would not expect a server player to know that. And again, this is why I don't want you to scout in Server League into the main base, is because if you do, I think you're going to get carried away with your thought process being like, I'm playing roulette right now, and I'm really feeling sky toss, and you like in your mind you spin the ball, and it starts spinning around the roulette wheel, and you're like, tick 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 tick, immortals, and you're like, ah, fuck, I thought it was sky toss. It's just random. If you guess what he's doing in Silver League, I guarantee you're making random guesses. You don't pay attention to the little details as to what your opponent's doing. And here's another detail. He only has 1 probe on gas right now. That's the least gas intensive build ever right there. He like doesn't give a fuck about gas. Why does he not care about gas? Because he's going Nexus first. And I think it's great. Or he actually went Gateway into Nexus because the Gateway is almost done. But still, like, this is not a lot of gas, guys. It's still an economically focused build. This is not an all-in. This is not a rush of tech. So all these things are things that will build us. Again, we are going to build ourselves up as a player because little signs point to so much more than you might realize. And again, yeah, Dr. Dark Knight, thank you very much for the 25-month resub, man. Much love. Thank you, thank you.
Macro, 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 macro.
Thank you, dude. Macro is right. So again, all this means is for this scout, this guy could still do anything. I'm not gonna explain scouting every game. I just want to explain it the first time because again, all we want to know in Silver League is did he expand or did he not expand. We're gonna definitely delve deeper into scouting as we go advanced more and more into the future leagues. But again, all this really does mean, if we actually did look at the main, would be he can do anything he wants to still. It just means it's going to be more economic because he's focusing on economy first. But he can still do anything. It's just going to be later. But in the fact that it's economy focused first, it means there's going to be more of it when it finally happens. That's it. That's all we should know so far. And how do we figure out more about what he's doing? We would have to scout again. So again, if we're not even going to focus on scouting again to figure out to do like a confirmation on what he's doing, we're not even going to bother scouting the first time in the main base, just for now. Also, here's a cute little trick as well. I also think, or not a trick, but something about silver players that I know would happen. I guarantee a silver player would probably do this. This is probably what a silver player would really do. If I was watching a silver player, this is what they would do. They'd go like this. Ooh, no gas. Build a simulator. And when their probe gets back here, I'd be like, what'd you just scout? He only has 1 gas because I stole the other one. I stole it. I stole the other gas. Okay, well, do you know anything about what he's doing? I don't know. He could be going Sky Toss. Maybe he's going DTs. Maybe he's going Colossus. Maybe he's gonna fucking all in me. I don't know. I don't expect you to know anything right now in Silver League. I guarantee, though, that's what a fucking silver player would do. They would just try to steal the gas. And then also while they're stealing the gas, they'd probably stop macroing because they'd focus more on fucking their opponent's build up while, without realizing it, mess up their own build. It's probably how it would go usually. So again, anyways, let's now skip forward. And we talked a lot about that scout thing, but that's conceptually why all we're doing is scouting the natural. It keeps it really easy. Aggression or no aggression. Potential aggression or no aggression. From our opponent. And now here's what the fights look like. So you guys get to see the fights throughout the game. So our opponent actually kept up really well with us in supply. He did a really good job. I feel like this guy's a B2GMer himself. And we killed a Nexus. First fight right here. Half our army. Again, notice how his army is trying to fight us all at once, and our army's being derpy, right? We're just fucking running in circles back here with a Shift A move. It's totally fine. Because even though we're taking a worse fight than he is, we're still at a point where all we're focusing on is macroing. So now, during this fight, let's watch the supply in top middle. Watch the supply in top middle. He's macroing during the fight. That's a good job by him. So are we, though. And now fight's over, and we got decimated. We lost more than 1,000 resources than he did, and we lost that fight overall. Supplies have stabilized at the same supply though, which means I feel like that's just a merit to our macro. If we can lose more than he does, yet still maintain the same supply. And that's all we're focused on, right? That's all we're focused on. And then he attacks us again, which is totally fine. And now we're maxed. And now this fight suddenly is going much better for us. And look at our supply and look at his supply. Supply, in terms of units lost now, we're the ones now taking a little bit of a lead here. Not by a whole lot. Not by a whole lot. It's about by two. Now it's by 2,000 for us in the lead, actually. But now suddenly we're ahead by a shitload of supply. And it's because we macroed during the fight. So now the other Protoss is at a massive disadvantage. How much production do we also have? 17 gates versus 21, 1 robo versus 2. So we've also set up our robos like on our gates a little bit faster. He does have a lot though. He's got a pretty good job going on here. And now this is where it gets rough because once you start breaking like this and you start losing bases, it's really hard to maintain and keep going. And now here's a horrible fight for us. This is definitely going to be a loss on this battlefront. It's a bad concave and it's also outnumbered. So we lost a lot of supply there. And now it's even. The game is legit basically as even as possibly can be. Where it's a 25 mineral difference. But we've lost the exact same amount of units. It's super close. Yet we're the ones who still have a ridiculously large supply. And the reason why, again, is because we're focusing super hard on our macro and we're maintaining a good economy. And we also killed some of his bases, so he can't do the same thing as us. Now here comes our next army, right? And now this time, numbers don't lie. He'll break now because he just doesn't have enough. If he has less supply by like half of what I have, he's going to break. But yo, Drax, well done, man. You did a good job macroing, honestly. Overall, that was still pretty good. If you're listening to this. Much love, dude. And yeah, guys, I don't think... People in my chat are saying that guy was a smurf. I don't think he was a smurf either. I think he was legit someone who just watches B2GM series. He did a good job of macroing. That's what it should look like. Like, if you macro like that, 100% you're going to get out of Silver League so fast. Okay. Now, we went through a massive rundown on that game. And unless we get, like, all in or something, we'll kind of speed up the rundowns for more of these because it's just going to be a lot of repetition. But what we're going to do all of it again. Same stuff again. We're understanding base development. We're understanding base upkeep. We're understanding how to spend our money properly now. We're understanding how to scout off of the initial gateway scout. So it gives us a read on whether or not we do or don't need a battery. We can start understanding how to wall a ramp to a degree. So again, like, look at the ramp really fast. Look at the ramp really fast. Look at the pylon field. I can put my pylon field right here. And notice how the pylon field doesn't completely touch the ramp. It's just a little bit off. If I put the center of a building, like, right there for a gateway, it's still in the pylon field. So if my gateway sticks out of the pylon field right here, see how the pylon field goes to, it stops right there, but I want to put a gateway right there over it. Why does it still work? Because the center is right there, and that's in the pylon field. That's why it works. And now what we're doing is we're putting the gateway on the edge of the ramp. Just putting it on the edge of the ramp. We can chrono boost our probes. Oh, sorry, we didn't scout. We need to scout. Sorry, I was reading chat for a second. Okay, so after we build the gateway, we're also going to go like this. Scout, we can hold a shift, and we can right-click on mineral line or something, and that's fine. Yo, thank you very much, Samurok 32168. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's build our Nexus. And let's start saturating our gases. Okay, let's go ahead and build a core. We can build our gas. And look what our opponent did on the minimap. We have a Nexus, or a command center, sorry. We have a command center. So what does that mean? It means that we're not going to get attacked. So we're okay. Now here's the thing too. Just note, if you actually do what I did here, where you scout and then you shift right-click your mineral line, this probe actually counts as one of the probes mining this mineral patch. So make sure you don't rip one of them off. So watch, if I right-click here, it'll say 16. It's because that probe is being told it's actively mining this patch, even though it's not here yet. So be very careful about ripping a probe off when it's not supposed to be ripped off. So don't rip off like one of these probes and go, get on the gas, because we're at 17 and this probe's all the way over here still. You want to still always maintain 16 out of 16. Try not to lose that. So you could also tell the probe, you could even tell the probe that scouts, hold shift and right click your natural. That way it doesn't disrupt your main at all. That would also actually be better. I'm probably going to do that from now on, because it just makes it easier to not have to fix issues. Okay, so let's make another stalker. Let's make sentries. Alright, sorry, probes. Jesus. Let's make a stalker, probes with chrono boost, and let's make our next tech. Let's make another gateway like right here. We can make it in the area where we want overlap on the gateway. Right there. And we can make our robo somewhere. Like right there, that's fine. We can make a pylon over here. Why are we making a pylon? So we can warp in at the natural. That's nice. Also, a quick tip about proper walling. Just so you guys know, look at this doorway. Do you see how this doorway only has one green slot in it where the mouse is? It's green and it's connected by a big sea of red. An Archon cannot fit through that. An Archon has to have an opening that is 2 green spots wide to fit through it. So if I wanted an Archon to fit through this, I would actually need the gateway to not be where it is now. I would need it to be down by 1, because then it would create a double green opening grid spot right there for an Archon to fit. Archons are very bulky units. They can't fit through small doors. So keep that in mind. If we're going to start using Archons, we should probably not build our walls so tight. And also, but you also got to realize, if you do make a tight wall, you can have one unit in the doorway, and it can block things that walk through it, like Zerglings or whatever, or Hellions. But if you have a double spot doorway, a double grid doorway, you need to have multiple units in the doorway, which is just harder to do. So basically, the point the final point I would say is, if you're against Zerg, you should probably build walls like this. And if you're against Protoss and Terran, you can have walls that are a little bit more wide open. Zerg, though, is very prone to, like, Zergling all-ins, so it's nice to not get fucked by Zergling all-ins. So that's what we're going to start doing, just to explain. And again, this is a Terran player, so from now on against Terran, we're going to stop building the wall so tight. And against Protoss, we're not going to build it so tight. We're only going to do that against Zerg. Okay, let's make some pylons, because we're supply blocked. Build our gases, or rather take our gases. We're fully saturated, so let's go ahead and right click this over here. Our money's not going down either, because and why is that happening? We're not fully expensing our base as well as we could be. We definitely could be handling our money a little bit better, but we're always like trying to get better at it, but we're still kind of missing gateway timings here and there. We're missing probes here and there, and we're missing robo here and there. So again, what are we going to do now? Don't go crazy. Just add on a couple extra gates. Maybe add on, again, 2, 3, something around there. We'll add on 3 this game. And why are we doing that? Because if we add on now the expense of 3 more gateways, we're almost spending our money as it is. And now if we have to add in 3 more gateway cycles as each turn, very high chance we're going to spend our money. So again, it's not the time to make an extra like 10 gates right now. Do not go for... We can't afford 10 gates right now. Let's move our army towards that, attacking us. We can chrono boost our probes. Chrono boost our probes. Chrono boost our probes. We can grab some probes off of the third base, or the main base, and send them to the third base. And this base is getting pretty well saturated, so let's go ahead and take another base wherever we want. We can take it like right there. Good stuff. And now let's go ahead and make some more units. Make some more units. Keep making probes. Why don't you make wall at natural versus Zerg? We are going to make the wall at natural versus Zerg. It's just, I'm just explaining the concept. Don't get so caught up in the exact position. Okay, people, I love you guys. I love you. You're great. We'll talk more. We're not even against the Zerg right now. We'll talk more about Zerg when we get there. But yes, I do want you to wall in the natural. I was just giving you an example of grid spots. I was not trying to tell you wall the ramp every game against Zerg on the main ramp. We'll talk more about Zerg when we fight a Zerg. Okay, so let's make some Stalker. And our money's still going up, so now how about we add in some upgrades? So let's go double forge. We can add another pylon here. Maybe another pylon over here, and like maybe another pylon like over here. Hold shift, right click whatever I took my probe off. I actually took off gas, so hold shift, right click the gas. Probe count is currently at 72, so we're almost there. Okay, let's saturate the new base we just made. Grab 4 probes off this one because it's oversaturated and send it to the new base.
I return to serve.
Keep making units. Let's make another immortal. Let's get shields, weapons, and also start a Templar Archives for Archon. Let's transfer 4 probes off that middle line because it's oversaturated. Take another base again because we're maxed out there. And we'll go ahead and build our gases here now. Probe count is almost done. And keep making Stalkers and Immortals.
I return to serve.
Okay, we can chrono boost our upgrades and our robo. And now we're getting closer and closer and closer to maxing out, and we're also starting to, we're done making probes now. So let's grab 2 Stalkers and let's A-move the map. We want to set up our timing for our attack to happen. Again, the goal is we want to attack right when we max out. We don't want to attack like 4 minutes after we max. Okay, so let's make some more Stalker, 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 Stalker. Chrono boost our Immortals and our upgrades. Fix this base's economy. Grab 1 more probe off the gas. Send it down to the next base. We're good to go. Our money's going pretty fast now. So, what can we do to fix that? Make more production now. A little bit more at this point. So let's add on like another 7 gateways. Because we had like 1,600 minerals in the bank a second ago. And now we still, after making the gateways, we still have 800. So we can still afford our next round easy peasy. But this is now going to help us spend even further. And it's going to help us get to that 20 to 24 realm of gateway. Okay, we can start our next upgrades for weapons and shield. We're getting attacked right now, so let's go ahead and attack that. Let's go ahead and start more Stalkers. What's probe count like right now? 68. We just lost a ton of probes. Let's go ahead and fix that. Rally them here and start building probes. We can rebuild the Nexus. And it looks like this was an all-in. So we just got attacked by a bunch of Thor. Again, does it matter what we got attacked by? No. We were about to attack him. We were actually at that point where we were about to max out. So we were going to be, like, by the time he shows up, we're already at like full power. So we're okay with what was going on there. But because we lost the base, what am I going to do? Am I going to go, fuck the base. Let's just make units and all in now. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, instead of all-inning my opponent the entire time, is I'm going to rebuild the probes that died, rebuild the base that died. I'm probably even going to expand again, and with the excess, then continue to make units. Also, look at my resources. What would make more sense to make right now? If I have to spend a lot of minerals now, pure minerals, making probes, making Nexus, making assimilators, making a couple pylons at these nexus for warp-ins. What would make sense if my money goes boom, way down and my gas now, my minerals are now at like, let's say what it is now, 800, and my gas is now double that, a little bit more than double that at 1730. I should probably now make a round of Archons because I just spent a lot of minerals to fix my economy. So let's use our gas. Let's use an intelligent way to go, how can we manage our economy better here? Let's just make some gas units, like heavy gas, which is now the unit we added on, which is Archon. It would flow great. It would work great. And then suddenly, before I know it, my economy's back to full power again at 85 with everything mining optimally. And we can constantly like run our opponent over again and again and again and again. So we can see what the fight looked like when he showed up. So when he attacks, again, this is that moment where it's like, it might seem scary. We're getting 2 base all in right now, but our opponent is doing it off of 100 supply. So it's not the scariest army of all time. It's only 100 supply of Terran. Meanwhile, we're maxed out on Protoss essentially right now. We're very, very close to maxing out. He shows up. He actually finds part of my army that was still sitting here because we killed the Marine earlier. So I'm actually losing a big chunk of my army right now. This is worth, that's 10 Stalkers, which is 20 supply, plus 4 more, which is an Immortal, which is now 24 supply, plus my Observer, which is 1 supply. We're about to lose 25 supply of my army before my other army even gets over there. But does it even matter? Because if we lose 25 supply, we're still only down to 153 at versus 106. So we still have almost a 50 supply lead, even if this just dies. So again, this is where macro is God. It's like gonna just win the game. This is just not enough Terran to overwhelm what we have. And it's also, here's the even crazier part. Look at the income. This also does not have to be my entire army. While I fight his army, even if he somehow beat this army and this army, I could just remake an entire brand new army again with my crazy economy. For every 3 Thors he can make, I can make probably like 25 Stalkers out of that. Legit. Like, it's insane how much more money we have. So, I mean, again, I'm just trying to prove the point of macro good, macro super good. Don't freak out about all these different things that can happen to you. As long as you macro through the problems and you don't let your gateways sit there idle forever, you have such a high chance to win the game. He Dorito cannons our army with his... so what he just did to us is he anti-armor missiled our army, which is why they're orange. What that does is it makes our units have a debuff, which reduces our armor. So on both armor and shields, we have -3, which all it means is it means that the Thors are now going to hit us 3 damage harder. Even if a unit has, like right here where it says 0 -3, what that does is it goes, okay, a Thor's ground attack does 33 times 2. So because the shield here is -3, is 0 -3, it's actually going to make the Thor's attack now 33 plus 3. So it's going to make the Thor's attack 36 times 2. And the reason where I'm getting times 2 from is where it says attacks 2. It goes 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33. It does 2 attacks. That's how the unit attacks in the game. So now if the Shredder armor, the anti-armor missile is on the unit, now it's going to be 36, 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. Because negative armor in this game does actually give bonus damage to the unit. That's where I'm getting these numbers from. Okay, so no one's confused. So, but it doesn't really matter is the point I'm trying to make here. With the army that he has, check this out. With the army that he has, 33 times 2 is 66. And 66 times 2 is 122, right? Or is it 132? It's 132. 66 times 2 is, sorry, I said that wrong. 66 times 2 is 132. And what's 132 plus 66? It's 198. Now check this out. 198 is more health than a Stalker has. A Stalker only has 160 overall total health. So here's the crazy thing. If he did or didn't anti-armor missile my Stalkers, they would still die because 33 is already enough to 3-shot a Stalker. You can kill a Stalker in 1, 2, 3 hits from a Thor. And if the Thor does plus 6 damage, because it gets, since it's -3, it gets +3/+3 on 2 attacks. If the Thor does, instead of now 33 plus 33, if it does 36 plus 36, it still isn't enough to go. Only 2 of those attacks now goes over 160. It still has to take 3 attacks to go over 160, which is the total health of a Stalker. So that's where sometimes these are things we'll talk about way more as well in the future. We're not going to talk a whole lot about it now, but the point I'm trying to make here, this is the point I'm trying to make. Our opponent went for a micro-based fight. He was microing a Raven to then have Thors kill Stalkers. And realistically, he did the wrong thing because he literally changed nothing about how fast a Thor can kill a Stalker. And my army is like all Stalker. He would have been better off if he would have, instead of doing an anti-armor missile, if he would have done an interference matrix on my Immortal, which completely disables the unit, and then also used excess energy to throw down auto turrets, or if he would have just done straight up auto turrets only. He would have had a better fight if he would have done that. I'm just trying to explain. This is an exact example as to why I don't want you guys to micro in lower leagues, is because what this was right here was an example of over micro that did nothing. You invested time to accomplish literally 0 gain. And all it does when you do that in this game, if you do that, is you actually waste like 5 seconds to micro during a fight, or 10 seconds, or however long you try to set it up. You waste that amount of time that could have actually been spent doing something productive, like macroing more units, or making SCVs, or setting up an expansion, things like that, which is what the priority really should be. So our army gets completely manhandled. These Thors beat the shit out of those Stalkers. And my probes. And now we're moving towards my base. And our opponent 100% would have lost this fight. Our army is so much bigger than his. And also Immortals beat the crap out of Thors. If it's not like 8 Thors versus 1 Immortal, yeah, Immortals the Immortal would lose if it's 8 versus 1. But if it's like 8 Immortals or like 6 Immortals versus like 6 Thors, fucking Thor's got a problem now. That's scary. And it's not even just 6 Immortals versus 6 Thors. It's 6 Immortals versus 6 Thors, plus the Immortals also have 20 Stalkers still standing there. So that's a super scary composition for these Thors to deal with. And the fact that he said GG before his army actually died, I completely agree with him. I mean, he was fucking dead here. And if this is just an all-in and he has no way to follow it up, if there's literally no plan of macro afterwards, and there's not even fully saturated mineral lines either to follow it up, I agree. He's super dead. But yeah. Hopefully, what we just talked about makes sense. Everything's a similar concept to what we've been talking about. Focusing on the priorities right now. Developing good habits. Making sure our macro is pumping like a boss. And Mateo, thank you very much, dude, for the huge fat raid. The host. Thank you, dude. What up, guys? Welcome to the stream. I'm currently doing a YouTube series called B2GM. And in this series, basically what I do is I teach people how to play StarCraft 2. I teach people how to play StarCraft 2. Was this guy's MMR 4800, by the way? I didn't actually see. Was this a 4800 Zerg? Somehow, am I getting that already? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I'll have to see with my stream delay in a second. If it was, holy shit, we're in for trouble. Okay, was he 4800? I was about to say 4800 is, guys, is, just so you know, is way the fuck above silver. I'm 1800 right now, not 4800. That's 3000 MMR above what we're at. Is this dude 4800? Yes, he is. What a guy. See, this is what you deal with sometimes. It's just Smurfs. He left. All he's doing right now is tanking his account. Maybe he's making a bronze GM as well. Otherwise, dick move. It's always such a gray area whenever I talk about Smurfs when I'm also essentially Smurfing in B2GM. And the only real reason I would say it's okay that for the way I'm doing it is I'm not genuinely playing at my real abilities against silver players. I'm actually trying to make guide format stuff. So I'm not actually just bullying kids in fucking Silver League. Okay, so we got another Zerg player. So now we're going to talk about how to wall against Zerg. I know you guys were interested in that, so let's talk about it. So what we're going to do now against Zerg is we're going to take our Nexus and we're going to rally point our probe to the natural. Okay, we're going to keep making probes. We're going to build a pylon, and we're going to make sure the pylon, edges of the pylon kind of touch the walls, okay? Try your best. Just try your best to make the edges of the pylons get close to the walls. You also can't build on this, by the way. That's like unbuildable terrain right there. So we have the edge touching the wall there. We have the edge kind of touching the wall over here. So it's close. It's fine. Because again, the whole gateway doesn't need to be inside the field. You can actually build outside the field as long as the center's in. So now we build a gateway. And then we right-click the mineral patch here, like at the natural. And we can hold shift and right-click our mineral patch at our natural. It's fine. We'll start doing that from now on. Again, we just want to see if he expanded. Let's go ahead and chrono boost our mineral line. And our money is starting to get kind of a bit up there. So let's get ready to take our expansion. So let's go ahead and move our probe up to the top to our natural and get ready to build the Nexus. And look, there's no expansion, guys, on the map. There's no expansion. So what am I going to do now? I'm still going to do the build as I've been doing it. But now I'm going to build a shield battery so we ideally don't die. Ideally. If we die, we die. But we want to build a battery now so we can try not to die. Now what I did as well right here, what I did as well right there, was I built my core and gateway right next to each other, but then I moved my core down by 1 so the core could fit under where the gateway is. That's all I did differently. Okay, let's go ahead and build our second pylon and our gas. And now, as soon as our core is done, which is going to be in just a second, we want to build a battery, like ASAP. ASAP build that battery, because we're going to get attacked probably. And look, we're already going to get attacked. So let's build our battery. Let's build a stalker. And now we can leave our probe on this mineral line. We can have some of our probes attack this Zergling. Hey, move the Zergling. Okay, go back to mining minerals. And we'll just build another probe for that gas. It's fine. Okay. And go rally our main now to our natural. And I know a lot of you right now, a lot of it, here's the thing. A lot of new players to StarCraft 2 would not know anything about what's going on right now. You would have no idea. But a lot of advanced players would be like, Vibe, this is really giving me OCD right now. You gotta fill in that gap. Let's not freak out and deviate the build for now. Because again, in Silver League, players don't play like they do in Masters League, okay? So we're going to just go ahead and leave this open until we can actually afford it, which is actually like right now. So we're going to put that in now. And we're going to put our robo in somewhere else, wherever we can fit it in. Put it like right there. Or you can put it in your main. Either way. It's fine. Now we actually have an actual wall. So once you have a wall, here's what you want to do. Put your stalker inside the doorway and hit hold position on the stalker. This is what you do against Zerg, specifically early game. It helps a lot. Now we're done using our units. Just make sure every unit we build from now on is always built here and not out here for warp-ins. So what we just did for ourselves is we just created a wall against Zerg, and it's going to help so much if we get all in. Practice this wall as much as possible. And again, because we're talking so heavily about it, I'm going to come back to the replay after this game's over and talk about how I set the wall up exactly. We'll talk about how I set it up. Okay, we can chrono boost our Nexus. We can make a couple more pylons. Make a couple more probes. We can make a observer. And then we'll start making immortals right after. We can also take our gas. And we can try to take our third base. Here's a cool trick as well when you take your third base. I think I might have showed you guys this before, but I'll show you again. If you right-click a mineral patch and then hold shift and move it to the area, you can walk through a stalker because of mineral pathing. So like if I tell my probe to go out there, it's going to do this. I can't do it. But if you tell the probe, hey, mind the mineral patches, it'll run through the stalker. Just like how if I wanted to come to my base and I go, hey, go home, it'll get stuck. This is exactly what happened to a Zergling. But if I mineral walk it, it goes through. It goes through. So it's a cool way to not expose your wall, but also be able to get your probe out so you can build a nexus. Okay, let's keep building stalkers. Let's keep building immortals. Keep building probes.
I'm here in the shadows.
Let's build a couple more pylons over here so I can actually have more vision of my base and also have more building area. It's also nice in general. Get in the habit from now on as well. Now that we're in Server League, we're paying more attention to things on the map a little bit. So what we're going to start doing more, we're going to put more of an effort now into building our pylons. Once we have our main pylon set up, we're going to expose more of the base with more pylons as we go so that we can actually not have like, oh my god, a Nidus is randomly attacking us. Okay, so we're going to get attacked in the third. And at this point now, because we want to keep the third up, let's go defend it. Select all army, go attack towards my third base. Call it a day. Keep making immortals. And keep making other stuff when we're good. Can re-rally our probes to our third. Chrono boost our probes even. And now look at my money. It's going up, right? I can't spend it. So let's go ahead and add some gateways to it. Now here's what we're going to do specifically against Zerg. We're going to always, every time we expand for the first like 2 expansions that we make, for like this base and this base, for our first 3 bases, we're going to make gateway walls on the sides of, or like gateway walls around the nexus essentially, so it doesn't break so easy. So what we're going to do with this nexus is we're going to go on the side that is more exposed. This is exposed. This leads back to my natural. Don't put gateways here. We're going to put gateways here because it's more exposed. So gateway, gateway. We're going to connect it as a wall. Gateway into a gateway. And now if a Zergling wants to attack my mineral line, it has to go all the way around into my army. What much easier at like not breaking with our base. Much, much, much easier at not having a problem here. Okay, and we just also added 4 more gates to help us spend our money in the top. Okay, and now let's go ahead and send some probes over because we're mining out. And look at the Zerglings. They run right through the army. Much easier to actually save my probes. Okay, let's go ahead and build another nexus. A couple pylons on both sides of it. Build some stalkers and another immortal. And look at my money. It's still high. My probe count's still looking good. We need more, but it's almost there. Let's go ahead and add in our upgrades now. So we can go for Forge, Forge, Council. And then send our probe down here to this base. Okay, good stuff. We can make a couple more pylons here for more build area in our base. We can chrono boost some more probes while we're at it. Okay, and then we could grab our probes and just put them on gas. Keep making probes. 4, 5, 4, 5. Well, 4 needs to be spent, so spend some stuff on 4. Okay, probe count is at 73. We're almost done. Let's re-rally here because this is a new base. So grab 8 probes off that because 24 minus 8 is 16. So try and grab 8. We got 8 right away. Awesome. Put them over there. Let's get weapons, shields, and start a Templar Archives. Grab a couple extra probes as well and send it to my new 4th base. And now we can do the same thing here. We can go gateway, 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 gateway. If this happens to you, like this just happened, just know we just walled our probe in between the gas and the gates, so just cancel one. Move your probe out, then build your gateway, then build a gateway, then build a gateway, and that's fine. Okay, now we can build more stalkers again. Build another immortal. This base is fully saturated, so what are we going to do? Let's take another base. Let's take it like right there. Sick. Let's build our gases here. And we'll keep making immortals and keep making stalkers and keep chrono boosting these upgrades now. And look at my resources, guys. Lots of gas, no minerals. We don't have a lot of minerals going on here. So what can we do to fix that? What can we do to fix this? Let's just obviously do what we talked about before. Let's make a round of Archons. Just one round of Archons. So we'll just make a round of Archons really quick. We're actually supply blocked. Nope, there we go. Okay, good shit. So now we have Archons. We can make these all into Archons. It's 2 Templar per Archon. It has to be even. 1 Templar cannot ascend to an Archon by himself. It doesn't. Protoss isn't that like that. Okay, we have to be partners. Okay, let's make a couple more pylons in the main. Let's grab a couple extra probes and send them over to another base that needs to be saturated, like this one right here. We could even tell 1 probe to mine this out, because this is a wall that blocks my 3rd from now my 5th, which we definitely want to be able to defend that faster. And let's go back. Look at my resources. Lots more minerals than gas. Let's go back to making stalkers. Okay, let's make an immortal. We can do our upgrades. We can make stalkers. Okay, get our upgrades. And now we need to go check the map, right? So we did it kind of late this game because we didn't do it before we maxed. We did it after we maxed, but again, that's okay. But we still maxed right around 10:30. Okay, we're getting attacked. We're getting attacked by mutas. So now, mutas. A move my army towards it, and now we know it's mutas. So let's make some new probes. And let's do this. Cannon, cannon, battery. Go back to mining minerals. My natural's now under attack. Select all army while it's coming. Don't stare at it. Cannon, cannon, battery. Try to not block your mineral line with your army or with the cannons and batteries. So mutas are going back to the main, so we're selecting our army and moving towards the main. Watching my production appear in top right. Make some more probes again. And this base didn't really make it, so let's go cannon, battery. Let's go to our 3rd. Cannon, cannon, battery. Let's go ahead and move my army towards that location. What's my probe count? Make more probes. Go up here. Cannon, cannon, battery. Cannon, cannon, battery. The space is getting fully saturated, so let's go ahead and go Nexus, pylon, pylon. And now check my bases. This base needs some probes, okay? This base looks like shit. Let's make 4 probes. Let's rally it to my main base. This base looks awful. Okay, let's fix our gas here. Let's put 1 on gas, and more minerals are coming. We can also chrono boost our upgrades. This base, how's it look? 2 over. Okay, maybe we help our main base. Saturate our main. Main's great. Okay, main's fixed again. Now main's even over by 1. Let's grab a probe off. Send it somewhere else. This base needs to be fixed as well. Let's get our army out of there. And we can control F1 because we have idle probes. We can go like this. Hey, probes, come back to this base. Right-click that gas, and right-click this mineral line. So now this base is looking pretty good again. Now let's do the same thing we did before. 1 stalker goes top of the map. 1 stalker goes bottom of the map. And we're just waiting to see what we're going to see. Meanwhile, we can chrono boost our upgrades. And we can also look at our production. It's only on 11. That sucks ass, right? Let's go ahead and increase that. Make like 1 more robo and go. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. Between 20 and 24. I don't give a shit. 24! Whatever you want to do. Anywhere around there is great. Chrono booster upgrades again. Let's add 1 more cannon here because it is missing a cannon. We want 2 cannons and a battery. And here's an interesting thing to know, okay? When you... I'll explain it when we... Okay, so it looks like this Zerg player doesn't have any bases on the top middle. Like up here, no base up there, no bases in the bottom left. Looks like this is going to probably be the first Zerg's base. So here's what we should do. A move right here first. Shift, A move there, there, there. The reason why we do that is because if we don't A move here first, the way this map is designed is our army would instead walk this way to his 3rd base like that, and we might get caught on his natural if we do it that way first. So we went there first to get our army on this side to then go like that through his base. Now, talking about my pylon in the middle of the screen here, and my cannons. If I put a cannon right there, notice how it connects my cannon to my battery. This is bad because watch how this probe mines now. It goes all the way around. And what if I put another one right there? What if I go, hey, let's put another one there? Now my probe, who wants to mine minerals over here, has to go all the way around again. It's really, he goes the other way now because it's really bad. It's really inefficient. So what we can do instead is we can gap First of all, connect your buildings to the Nexus so you're not blocking your mineral patch as well like that. Because if I put a cannon here now and I want to mine these patches, my probe has to go down and around now because this is now walled on this side, so it's not good. So again, number one rule is we always connect to the Nexus, and number 2 rule is we never connect building to building. Like, that's not Nexus. So we don't connect battery to cannon. We rotate it over by 1 like this, or 2. 1, 2. That would be fine. You know why? Because we're not connected to the pylon. We're also not connected to the battery. So like this spot or this spot is both totally fine. We don't want to go there because then we connect the pylon, and now look at my probes that mine gas. They get stupid. We don't want that to happen. Then they have to start going around a little bit, and it's more annoying for them. But if we go here, our probes can easily go around the front if they want to. Or they go even more, but it's, I'm going to say that it's fine. It's fine. Okay? Probes, you're fucking my example up. You're supposed to go left, but it's fine. But if we build it right here, everything's fine. No one has a problem. Everything runs smoothly. So again, I did it to every base. I did not connect my batteries and my cannons together. Like, I didn't build them like this. I did not do that. And trap probes and stuff like that. We always leave a gap. We always leave a gap. We always leave a gap. We always leave a gap between buildings. They don't have to be super tight together like that. They don't have to be exactly like that. You just want them in the area like this. And this makes the world of difference against Zerg players who go Mutalisk. Because Zerg players who go Mutalisk, if, like, let's go back now to the replay. And let's look at his mutas before the game was over. His mutas had level 0 weapons, guys. This is pretty expected. It's pretty standard that this will happen to you in lower level play. Most Protoss players will see mutas and go, and this is why, remember how we talked about earlier in this video, and I was like, shield upgrades, they fucking own mutas. They're so nice against people who harass your base. And most Protosses are like, fucking hate mutas. Oh my god, it's the most annoying unit. All my probes die. It's so stupid. It could just fly away. Blah, blah, blah. We'll talk about more ways you can kill mutas, again, later on when we actually micro. But again, for now, just talking about how to deal with mutas with your base. Look at the fucking upgrades of mutas again. 0 weapons. Look at our shield upgrades on our buildings and our probes. It's already level 1, going on level 2. So already, these mutas are doing less damage by default than what they start with, because we have shield upgrades. This not only reduces the initial hit of mutas, it also reduces the bounce of the mutas. And it's going to only get worse over time for the mutas as our shield upgrades get better and better. Which it also makes our cannons and batteries. Here's what it also does. Remember how I also said make cannon battery? Cannons not only are tankier now versus mutas because their shields get upgraded, but it also makes not only does it make a shield upgrade tankier too, but if the mutas are on auto attack and they happen like so the way AI works, there's so much shit I got to explain here. The way AI works inside StarCraft 2. If you A move an area, okay? If I have Mutalisk and I go like this, A move this area, they're going to prioritize units over buildings as long as it's not a static defense structure, and they're also going to prioritize hostile over non-hostile. So for instance, a Mutalisk will always automatically prioritize, and this is where this works for all units, by the way. It's not just mutas, it's all units. They will prioritize a probe over the Nexus and over the pylon and over the gateway, and also over the gas. So as soon as a muta sees a probe in the vicinity of its aggro range, it will kill the probe first. However, if there is something hostile in the area, it will no longer prioritize a probe. So if there was an Archon standing right there, the mutas would prioritize the Archon. If there was a Stalker standing right there, the mutas would prioritize either the Archon or the Stalker, whatever's closer, but they would prioritize either one of those over the probe. If there is a cannon in the area, the muta will prioritize the cannon over the probe. And even though I said it's a building, it's a static defense structure, which is counted as a hostile target. Hostile targets are things that shoot back at you, essentially. So if a muta flies at a cannon will shoot the fucking muta. So Muta will automatically kill the cannon as a priority over the probes. The only way a player can kill your probes over the cannon is if they physically tell their mutas, A-click the probe, A-click the probe, A-click the probe, A-click the probe. And I'm not going to lie, that's a tactic. That is a tactic that most players that are Zerg, or players in general, don't really do until like Masters League. Legit. They don't really focus fire properly until probably Masters League. So you've got tons of time for that. Tons of time to get better to, you know, deal with people who play like that. But for now, what people are generally going to do is go like this. Fly mutas in, stop command over the mineral line or near the mineral line. They move command to like, they go move command right there. Mutas show up, they stop, they start shooting hostile, or they start shooting the priority of target. And I just explained what they were. Since nothing's here, they're shooting probes over the buildings that don't fight back. But the second cannons exist, mutas will prioritize those. And finally, to wrap up the thing I was saying with shield upgrades. Shield upgrades not only make your buildings tankier, but this shield battery heals shields at the cost of energy, and its energy bar will last longer because your buildings take less damage. So it overall makes your entire defense extremely effective. It also, if your probes also have shield upgrades, let's say mutas shoot a cannon and the bounce of the muta bounces into some probes near it, the shield battery will more realistically keep your probes alive rather than your probes dying, because again, the shield upgrade not only on the cannon reduces the initial hit from the muta, but the bounce glaive that bounces out of the cannon and bounces to nearby targets. If a probe gets hit by the bounce, it'll take less damage from the bounce because it has shield upgrades, which means it's very hard for your probes to die. So that's why this works so fucking good against Zerg as well. Now watch the mutas. Watch the mutas, okay? He does a curveball and he goes back to the main. Now are my cannons done to the main when he gets there? They're almost done. So he's coming back. He's coming back. He's flying back in the mineral line. And they're not done yet. So again, he's still targeting probes. But now the second the cannons are done, this is over. The mutas are done. They're not. If they came back, this many muta, 6 muta, would die easily to 2 cannons and a battery. Easily. So this base is now never going to get attacked again. This base is under construction of cannon battery. All the other bases are getting ready to start construction of cannon battery. So we just made our lives way easier. Remember also how I talked about Archons are fat units? They're big, so they can't fit through a single grid door. Oh, there's an example right there. Our whole army is being told to A-move, and it went to the main base. And the Archons are like, we can't fit because that door is too small for us. So now we're going to chill on the cliff. We're just going to wait. We're chilling. We're the outside crew. And now look at this. This is now, with all the things we just learned, let's go back to what we learned before and why it also still matters. Guys, these mutas are still killing probes, and we've currently lost 27 probes. Yo, Vital...
I just joined Twitch today from YouTube to come support you and to make fun of you. Good stuff, man. I appreciate ya.
Yo, Vitamin C, thank you very much for not making fun of me, dude. And instead, donating $5. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hell yeah, appreciate you, man. Well, we just lost 27. We just lost... The Zerg didn't really lose any mutas there, but we just lost 27 probes. You might look at... Like, we'll do it. We'll go all the way back to when he just left as well. So he's like just now leaving. Right here. Right as we lose 27. We won't go too far ahead. So right now, right there, he stopped. He's shooting. And right now, okay, right now, the Zerg has now decided, okay, I'm going to leave now. I've done my damage, and now I'm going to leave your base with my mutas. And also, you got a bunch of stalkers and cannons set up now with battery. So I don't want to fight that anymore. I feel intimidated. Now let's quickly, after watching 27 mutas die, or 27 probes die, what's the supply of the game right now? We're maxed out and Zerg is at 82. Now how many workers do we have? I have killed really nothing really of Zerg other than the Zerglings he tried to attack me with earlier. I haven't once attacked his base yet. I don't even see his base yet. We scouted it originally and went, oh, there's no natural. So we made a battery, and that's all we did. But we have not attacked him at all. And we've lost 27 probes as well to boot on everything else. Now let's look at the worker count. We are at 74 probes after losing 20... Right after he killed the last probe. We have lost 27 probes, and yet because we were still making probes, what is 85 minus 27, guys? It's not 74. It's 85 minus 27 is actually 58. So we have a lot more probes than 58 right now. And we've been making probes the whole time as they were dying, which is why our number is still so close to 85. And we still have another 5 probes literally like a second from being done. Here we go. Play for 1 second. And boom, now we're at 78. So we're cranking probes like crazy. We're cranking probes out like crazy, and we're recovering like instantaneously. We're just automatically recovering all the economy we lose as we lose it. And now we're protecting it as well. So now all my bases have cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. We're good to go here. So for the Zerg's efforts to kill a bunch of my economy, at the end of the day, he's still behind by 48 drones. He would have needed to have killed double. Not even. He would needed to. He honestly he would have needed to have killed about triple what he killed here. Almost triple what he killed here to be able to actually take worker lead. Triple the fucking damage. Like, he did a lot of damage, and he would have needed to do triple. And here's the crazy thing. We have 5 Nexus. We could actually, even if he did kill triple, we could recover super fast anyways. 5 Nexus chrono boosting out probes. We could recover so fucking fast. So ridiculously fast. So it's just one of those things, again, where I'm trying to explain. This attack the Zerg might have done this attack and went, dude, I feel great. I fucking killed 27 probes, man. How do I lose this game if I kill 27 probes? But do we care that he killed 27 probes? Because in the time that he killed 27 probes, he's still behind by a fucking shitload. Like, he's still so far behind. We still have this double supply lead going on here. More than double. We're just, like, you know, again, what are we doing? Macro. We're taking that macro element of the game, and we're putting it into full effect here. And we're just capitalizing on everything against the Zerg player here, who is being hyper aggressive. This is why I don't want you guys to play like this before you can handle it. Because this happens. And again, are we playing super... Like, and those of you who are wondering, Vibe, yeah, but you see... This is one of those games, Vibe, where... Yeah, you just shut down the Zerg player as a Protoss player, but you shut down mutas, and you had to have like 400 APM to do that. You 100% Vibe. You had to have like 350 or 400 APM to do that. Yeah. And let's see what my APM actually was. My APM is less than the Zerg player. We have 74 APM, and I just fucking destroyed his build by macroing. Yo, thank you very much, David, for the 30-month resub, dude. Thank you. And then now, finally, when the fight happens, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah, it just comes down to obviously what we talked about before. Like this is why he's so far behind. That's why he's so far behind. He made 2 gases, and he's got no drones mining it yet, but he sacrificed drones to make the gases. And he's got 4 drones mining his 3rd base. He's got 10 drones mining the natural, and he's mining his gases. And he's got 5 drones mining the main, and he's mining the gases. He has no mineral income. He's got the worst mineral income ever right now. That's why his supply is so low. And he's not making drones. Why is he not making drones? Why is he not making a good economy? Because he's putting all of the game into the hands of the muta, trying to win the game with this muta count right here. Because he's so overly committed to attacking. And again, guys, I don't want to stress on him too hard. I know he might not give a fuck. He might just like to have fun playing StarCraft. This is how he has fun. And again, that's totally fine. But I'm just talking about if you want to get better at the game, efficient-wise, you have to macro. This is your life if you don't macro. You just always have... you're like, why am I dead? What? Oh, okay. He cheated. He made a lot of army way faster than is physically possible. No, it's because he macroed. That's how it goes, boys. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, dude. Stalker Rave in the mineral line. Yeah, dude. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, it really all just comes down every single time. The same thing every time. To just understanding always, how do I make a good economy? How does that happen? What do we do? What do we do to make a good economy? What do we do? How do we set the game up? Okay, we got another Zerg. We got Darren. Darren. We got Darren. Yo, Darren! What's up, man? Good luck, have fun. Minerals are gas heavy. You don't need minerals. Yes, you do. What kind of? Okay, you're capping right now. I was about to say, what the hell kind of logic is that? Okay, we grab a probe. We make another probe, so we don't stop making probes. We put our pylon as close as we can to the wall. This is good. 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 They're all good. Let's just make one of them right there. Boom. Why is it good? We want our pylon to be able to put a gateway, the center of a gateway, close enough to the wall. Well, if we put a gateway right there, if we're the center of it, that would mean the gateway is going to be right there for the center of it. That's too far down. So that's why we could have put the pylon further up and it would have been totally fine. So now the gateway is going to be completely in the field. Or we could put it even right here. This also would be great. Right there. Cool. The concept is we want to get this doorway completely walled off with only one grid spot open. Also, I forgot to talk about the wall in last game. We'll talk about it this game. Sorry, I totally forgot. My bad. We'll talk about it this time. Okay, so we're going to make a nexus. And we're going to make our gas. This time we also went nexus before gas. The previous times we go gas before nexus. Again, it's fine. Not a big deal. The reason why it's not a big deal is because, again, we're doing a mineral-focused build, and we're still accomplishing that goal. We can get more specific about builds later on. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's go take our core. And look at our opponent. He has a natural. You know what we shouldn't do then? We don't need a shield battery right away. At this point in the game now. We're okay. We're totally fine. Let's go ahead and take our other gas. Saturate this gas properly. We can saturate our other gas as well. Gonna put our nexus onto it. And there we go. We're good to go. Put that bad boy in there. And now we just go back to macroing super standard chill. Easy peasy. Yeah, this guy's going bandling drops, obviously. Yeah, exactly right. You just start. Anyone who tries to predict the build right now, you can't. You just guess what it is. It's all guessing. And I feel like that's the problem of lower level players, is they think that guessing is how you scout. And that's not how you scout, guys. You don't scout by guessing. You scout by knowing. That's what. Otherwise, what's the point of scouting? Like, there's certain... What I said is mostly true right there. Anyway, again, these are concept... We'll talk way more about that kind of shit at higher level. But yeah, there is sometimes a little bit of guessing that has to go on. But it's not something... Like, if you have a high level, like, educated guess going on, that makes sense. But if you're, like, legit just going... he's going Lurkernitis right now. And it's just like, what? How do you... There's nothing that tells you that right now. Oh, I just feel it. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying guessing. Where it's like, okay, it makes no sense why we just said that. So if you're at that level of scouting where you're just guessing, again, that's why we shouldn't really focus on we're not going to focus on big picture scouting yet. We're building ourselves up with piece by piece scouting, and this tells us, even if the Zerg attacks us, it's going to be a little bit later now because this is hatchery first. That's what it means. Okay. Let's make our observer. Let's keep making our stalkers. Keep making our probes. Let's go ahead and take our third base. We can make a couple extra pylons. Put our probe down to our third. We can build like another pylon like over here because we need another pylon and maybe like one more pylon right there. We need to not we're a supply block, so we're just over making pylons to fix that. Okay, let's grab our probe and build our third base. Build another couple pylons on the third. And now we have a lot of open supply, which is really, really juicy. Okay. Nice. We teleprobe to mine minerals. It's fine. And now we can start warping in stalkers. Take our gases. What's the point of scouting? Vibes advice for new players. What's the point of scouting everything if you don't know what the hell you're doing is really what I'm saying. We are still scouting the natural, and the natural is very easy to read. But I'm not telling you, alright, scout his main base and figure the build out off of very little information. That takes such a high level scouting advanced user to figure that out. And if you try to do it yourself as well, all you're going to do is fuck your own build up because you're going to take way too long overthinking what's happening. And be wrong more than half the time. Okay, scouting shouldn't be a guess. Realistically, it should be at the very least an educated guess to like knowing. And we're trying to build you up as a player to get to that level. We'll get there as we go through the leagues. Okay, so we're building more probes. We're building stalkers. We're building immortals. Our money again is getting to that point, guys, where it's getting pretty hard to spend it. I can't spend my money properly, so let's go on the wall. Go up by 1. Gateway, 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 and 3 gateways or 4, but we'll do 3 or 4. What do we want? 3 or 4? It does not matter. 3 or 4. Oh fuck it, we'll go 4. Yeah, you know what? Actually, let's go 3. Actually, let's go 4. No, just kidding. Okay, we're getting attacked. So select the army, A move, go down here, and we can go. Hey, stalkers, warp in here, and make another mortal. Because again, we're macroing during the process. Keep making probes, guys. Keep making probes. We can chronoboost probes. Chronoboost probes. Chronoboost probes. Wonderful. Okay, make a couple pylons. Make a pylon. Money's getting kind of high again, so and also we're fully saturated. Let's get ready to expand, and we can also go forge council. And send this probe down to go mine here. Let's take gases. And let's take another base. Let's take it like up here. Or down here. Or up here. Or, let's go down here. Because again, does it matter? People fixate on these things. These like decisions where it's like, well, this is going to cost the game right now. These are things you should worry about in like Masters League again. Not right now. High level players, when you watch their streams, yes, they care a lot about where they expand. But for you right now, learning the game, not a priority at the moment. Just build the fucking base. Build it close to yours, but either side. It's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and saturate our gases properly. Let's fix this economy. We are 3 over, so let's go ahead and send 3 probes down to the other base and re-rally all my nexus to this base. Good stuff. And we also added this nexus into our control group. Let's make some stalkers. I don't care where you make them. We're just making them. Let's make an immortal. And look at my money. It's getting kind of high again. How about we do this? Make some gateways again on the south side, because again, this is the more exposed area that we don't see yet. Let's make a few gateways here. We'll make 4 this time instead of 3, and we're good to go. We also need to do it because we have a lot of money. Look, we're getting attacked again. Select A army, A move the area. Good stuff. Okay, let's get weapons and shields. Let's get a Templar upgrade. Probes aren't done yet, so keep making probes. And let's fix our economy. Just grab some. I didn't grab perfectly 4. But whatever. Let's grab 6. Oh, we're under by 2. But guess what? As long as it's good saturation, it's fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and make some stalkers. Let's go ahead and make an immortal. This is Diamond 3 Protoss level. Are you sure? It's concepts. We're A-moving the area and we're making units. And I'm teaching you guys how to build bases now. It's just building your base. We're just building gateways now on the edge of the base that's more exposed. Now let's expand again because this base is fully saturated. Okay. Pylon. 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 Let's make some more probes. Alright, sorry, make some more stalkers. Okay, so we're getting attacked pretty heavily. Let's A-move my army down into the area. Let's make an immortal. We can chrono boost our upgrades and chrono boost our immortals. Transfer some probes over to a new base. We can build a pilot. I think there might be something there because I think it died. Keep making probes, guys. We're not done yet. Okay. Make some more stalkers. Make another immortal. And it looks like these gates are underpowered because we can't use them right now. So let's make another couple pylons here to try and fix that. Saturate my gases properly because we're oversaturated on the mineral line. Keep making probes. And now check my money out. It's getting pretty high, right? Or my gas. My gas and minerals are getting really close to like evening off here. So let's actually maybe make some Archons instead then. We gotta make evens though. Only even numbers because it doesn't work if we have a Templar sitting there. So we just made 4 Templars and a Stalker. And now, how's our bases doing? Base is oversaturated by 2. Grab it, send it up here to the new base. Put some pylons here too so we can warp in at it. Base is good. Get some upgrades. We can chrono boost immortals and upgrades. Base is over by 2. Grab 2. Go over here. Base is good. Base is good. Okay, we're getting attacked again. A move down to that area. Let's also warp in the area. Right here or whatever. Okay, all my warpins got canceled. So let's go here instead. We'll explain what just happened there in a second. We can try and remake a pylon. Remake a pylon to fix my gateways. And my money's getting kind of high and I can't spend it. So let's put some more gates somewhere else now. So let's go gate, 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 gate. Let's make an immortal. And do I have units? Okay, I do have units. So make some stalkers. Select the army. Go down there. Make some more probes, guys. We're not done making probes. He just killed a bunch. Let's also chrono booster upgrades again. We can now select our gateways and go, add them into our control group. We're getting close to 20, but it's because this attack is lasting so long that we're not able to like finish it off. Okay, this base is pretty much done. Let's put the gases on it and make some more stalkers. Make an immortal. What's this gateway doing? It's underpowered. Okay, we need to power that up. And again, the only reason why I checked it's because I was like, why is the timer not moving on that thing? Why is it forever frozen? What the hell? So now we fix it. Probe count's at 84, soon to be 85 because I have a second probe queued up there. So it's great. Now let's make stalkers again. Now this might be the last round of stalkers we make, guys. And you want to know why? Look at my gas and look at my minerals. I don't have any minerals and I have a lot of gas. So next round we should probably make Archons. Again, proper spending of economy. Let's transfer new probes down to this area. Let's get probes mining everything properly. Let's transfer a bunch of probes here. Probes there are good. Get 3 probes off there. There's good. And we can put 3 on that gas. 1, 2, 3. Take our mineral line. Let's take another base. Hold shift, put the pylons down. Let go shift, hold shift, right click that mineral line. Okay. Now let's make Archons, because again, I have way more gas than minerals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm supply blocked, so we're good. Just made a few Archons. And now if I can only make 1 more unit, it'll be a Stalker. Make another Immortal. What about our upgrades? Let's go ahead and start 3 upgrades for shields and weapons. Let's chrono boost as well. And now look at my resources. No gas, all minerals. So now I go back to making Stalkers and Immortals because it's heavier on the minerals. I will still mine gas. We'll be fine. So we have 1 Stalker going on the north side, 1 Stalker going on the south side of the map. Good shit. Okay, so let's make another round of Stalker. And now we're maxed out. We're waiting to attack. Okay, he's attacking me. Select the army. Go attack him here again. Now our money's going high. So let's go ahead and add in more production. We're at 14. Let's go for another robo. And be like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And we're good. 22 is fine. Probe count, 84. Let's make 1 more. Gateway count. We just made a bunch here in the main. Let's see what it's at now. We're at 19, 20, 21. Because we just lost a couple gateways down here. How about we rebuild these? Because it fixes my wall as well. Okay, good shit. Now we're good to go again. We're reset here on a good wall in, and we have 23 gates now actually. So now let's go ahead, build a bunch of stalkers. And my stalker keeps dying on the top side, so let's try again. And send another army on attack that area, so I can just check and see where the bases are on the top. Because again, we're super blind here. I can tell that I have not scouted this area yet. Let's take another base. We're mining out, guys. Or we did already, which is good. So we're fine. We're actually fine for now. Oh, this base is actually mining out too. We gotta check it. But that's why we always check it. Now we're actually having a problem. We're getting close to oversaturating again. Let's take another base. We don't want to have way too little patches for way too many probes. We want to have the other way around. We want to always have enough patches for enough probes. Okay, we're getting attacked, so let's select an army. A move towards where his army is. Let's make some Archons. No, we'll just do Stalkers for one round. It's really a judgment call here when it's about even. We'll just do Stalkers first. Stalker. Stalker, Stalker. Now we can make Immortals. Immortal, Immortal. How's my upgrades looking? Let's Chrono Boost our Immortals and Chrono Boost our Forges. And now we're getting to a point where we're ready to attack. Okay, we're getting really close to maxing out. And look at our gas. Super high, minerals super low. Archons. Balance our economy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we don't have enough anymore for either another Templar or enough to make 4 supply of Archon. Because each Archon's 4 supply. It's 2 plus 2. So now let's make these all an Archon. And now let's take our gases here. Check our probes. Still 85. And now that we have a full maxed army, let's go ahead and A move here. Shift A move here because it's closer. Shift A move here. Shift A move here. So we're going in this way. Now if we don't kill him here, the next time we're going to A move from here first and then work our way in. So we're killing expansion after expansion and going towards his main. But if we don't kill him, we'll go to the other way. So let's check our bases. Mineral fields are depleted, guys. Where is it? That's fully depleted. Send it somewhere fresh and good. Okay, this base is good. This base is good. This base is good. This base is good. This base is totally fine as well. Okay, so now upgrades wise, we're done. Now let's get our final upgrade just because we can. We have nothing else to upgrade. It's there were 3 on shields and weapons, so let's just go ahead and start upgrading our forge. Let's start getting immortals, and we can go right back into making stalkers and everything again. Okay, now go back to when we were getting attacked and let's watch supplies and all that stuff. Let's watch our supply versus his supply. So right now we're cranking out a really good probe count to a drone count. We're holding strong on a really good economy. And our opponent is currently going, you know, roach crazy with a lot of lings and stuff. It's fine. He's playing safe. It is what it is. And we're, you know, we're in the developing stages of the game overall. Now finally he shows up. And as he shows up, what's the supply? It's about even. He's about tied with me in supply, but let's look at worker count for a second. That's not close. So what this actually means is that if we're this close in supply and I have way more workers than him, it means his army supply is going to be higher, which is 66 versus my 45. So one of us has a lopsided situation over the other. We have more workers and less army. He has more army and less workers. What does that mean? It means he needs to get damage done right now. Otherwise, I'm going to outpace him as time goes on. Because more workers represents more production. And more production represents more army faster. So if he doesn't do damage to me, he's gonna get fucked. Essentially, he's gonna be in a bad spot. So as long as we stick to the macro from this point on, we're gonna be totally fine. So again, as he shows up the first time, we're about tied. My army's starting to kill some of his army because we're A moving, but some of his army's spreading out. It's killing some of my probes. It's killing my nexus. It is what it is. Those were really nice corrosive biles on my army by him. Super good micro by him, right? That was fucking super good micro. Those biles just beat my ass. Let's look at production during this. He has roaches that were made 12 seconds ago. He has lings that were made 11 seconds ago. And he has upgrades that were made 40 seconds ago, 40 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago overlords, 42 seconds ago hatchery, 28 seconds ago hydrogen. We have stalkers that were made 3 seconds ago, probes made 4 seconds ago, upgrades made 20 seconds ago. The point I'm trying to make here is his things are all 10 seconds or above in terms of how long ago they were made. Now, let's really quickly look at his larva. He has 3. Let's look at his queens. There's a ton of injects ready to go here. This queen, and this queen. Between all 3 of them, that's 2 injects. That's almost 3 injects. And that's 6 injects right there. That's 11 injects, basically, right there on those queens. That could have happened. And right here on these 2 queens, this is 4 injects. And that is 2 injects. That's another 6 injects. And notice how not a single hatchery is being injected right now. None of them are being injected. Why is that happening? It's because he is fully focused on attacking me with corrosive bile, trying to get the best fight he possibly can. So yes, although later on, this is ideally what you should be doing, if it comes at the cost of no macro, then no, it's not what you should be doing. So let's go ahead and play it now. And look at these biles. They're great, dude. He's fucking hitting me with like every bile. Because you know why? I'm not moving out of them. I don't even know they're happening. But look at production. I am cranking out new units repeatedly. And even though I just took a fight where I'm taking worse and worse exchanges than he is. And my army is now also, half of my army is also turning around because it's losing aggro. And the other parts of it are like, oh, let's stay here and die. It's really bad micro by me because it's not even existing. I'm literally not even here. I'm not even paying attention. But I'm still actually pulling ahead in supply. I lose less than I make overall. So another immortal is going to go down. Another stalker goes down. And again, supplies are somewhat close. But our production is continuing to come online here because all we're doing is macroing. And now he shows up again and attacks me again. He's corrosive biling the crap out of my army all over again. But we're producing new units constantly wherever we're making them. Look at production tab. What are we doing? We got an immortal in production. We're making stalkers. And now really quickly, let's check the Zerg's bases. He has injected once, but there's still a ton of energy here. This base is injected, but there's, again, this queen's 200 almost. These queens are all really high. These queens are really high, but he did inject. That's good. Like, he's doing decent with it. Like, he's doing an okay job with the macro. I'm not going to say it's not happening at all, but it's one of these things where he's not doing nearly as much as he could be, and he's going to keep falling further behind if he never gets out of the situation. And this is also a situation for you as a player where if you can play faster than me, then by all means do that. There's nothing stopping you from playing faster than me. You can totally do that. If you think that you're able to do it, do it. Because if I can actually play even faster than because again, I'm not what I'm showing you right now again, I want to make sure you guys don't misinterpret this. The macro I'm showing you right now is efficient enough, in my opinion, in Silver League, but it's not even remotely close to actual efficient macro. I'm just trying to show you how you can keep speeding up and get better and faster and more efficient at everything you do and speed up the process because you get so used to it. But if we actually were macroing faster and faster and faster, we would actually have a lot more supply than we do because we wouldn't have something like 1,400 minerals in the bank and 1,000 gas in the bank while he's attacking us, even though all we're focusing on is macro. And now look at us. We're getting ejected to the, we're getting corrosive bile to the face again. All my army is just getting destroyed. Look what happens now. Again, look at the supply, guys. We're eating biles like crazy. Look at loss here. We're double. This is gonna happen so often where it's like, wow, Vibe's getting his fucking ass kicked. The opponent's probably gonna be like, I'm winning this game right now. This Protoss is so bad. He just stands in biles. I'm owning his ass right. It's so hard every fucking time. Holy shit, this guy's bad. He just sits in it. But it doesn't matter because even though we're losing double what he's losing, I'm still holding strong with a better economy and more supply like all the time. Every time we drop, we gain. We drop, we gain. We drop, we gain. We drop, we gain. And now look, we're about to start, at this point too, this is roughly close to the time when we're about to throw down more gateways in our main base. And why is that? because we're sitting on like 80 probes constantly, and we're starting to get more money than we can spend. So we're upgrading, we're expanding again. We're upgrading the, like, would you, if this was a real silver game, would you feel comfortable if you were tunnel visioning this army to go, you know what? Let's fucking, even though we've lost 17 probes, let's keep making probes, and let's also expand again. No, you'd probably look at that and go, what the, you're crazy. No way would I ever expand right now. That's crazy talk. I'm dying right now. I'm going to die, man. But it's just understanding that you can totally macro while moving your army. And once you're really fast at macro, you can macro while microing your army. Again, he's corrosive. Dude, he's landed probably like 30 corrosive vials this game on me. He's beating my ass with corrosive vials. Every single time. I've lost almost 9k. Yet, I'm still ahead in supply. Still ahead. And here's the crazy part too. Here's where it really gets crazy. He did not start attacking me 5 seconds ago. He started attacking me like 2 minutes ago. Or 2.5 minutes ago or something. Like, he started attacking me a while ago. And here's the crazy thing. Since he started attacking me at this base, what have I done? I've expanded again. Has he? He set this up like as the fight was about to start. But look at this. The base is mining out. The base is mining out. This base is barely being utilized. And this base is also barely being utilized. But the point I'm trying to make here is if this guy doesn't set up more drones soon, he's already so far behind as it is because it took him so long to get here. And I've been mining for minute after minute after minute on this much economy over him. But if here's the crazy thing too, is if he mines these patches out and has to go here, and then if he mines these patches out and has to go here, if he doesn't expand soon in the next like 3 minutes, and he just stays on this all game, he's going to be in a position where he's going to be all in because his economy is going to go even lower than what it already is because he's going to have no efficient patches really. Like, it's going to start falling apart really, really bad. Really bad. So what do I have though? If my patches start mining out, I have a fresh base again, and I'm going to take another one soon. Once I start taking this base, I'm going to take another base. Like, it's all about keeping... we never want economy that looks like that. We never want economy that... This one's good, because it's still good, but we never want economy that looks like this, and we also never want economy that looks like this unless we're at 80 plus. If you have a base that looks like this, but it also... Every one of your other bases is not in the red, then that's totally fine. Like, for instance, if I took this base right now and it had 3 probes on it, that would be totally fine because no other base I own would be in the red. Because again, we're focusing on that. So it's about managing, it's upkeeping your base with a good economy. It's not about making your economy once and letting it go to shit really fast. So it's constantly managing it. It never ends. You always have to stick on top of it. And again, remember the supply we talked about? We're still maintaining a lead even though we're getting our ass handed to us right now. Don't forget the wall. Thank you. I'll talk about it in a second. And he's going for my pylons again. Like, this guy is doing a really, Darren has a really good Ravager micro. He's doing a great job with his Ravagers. But it's at the cost of his macro, which is not ideal. Like, look at this. I'm eating biles here again. He's getting ready to kill my probes again. I'm now down almost 11,000 resources. Eat those biles to the face. He's focus firing my immortals. I can't even warp in here at the moment. Now he's killing all my probes. He's biling my mineral line. Everything is dying for Protoss, right? You're like, oh my god, Protoss is getting destroyed, dude. He's still killing probes. But would you know that I'm actually still tied with him in supply? And I've lost up to... It's still going up, by the way. We'll keep talking about it. But we're at 28 workers lost. And I'm still maintaining a worker lead. Like crazy. And now here comes my next A-moved army. And look at these supplies. I'm once again taking supply lead and also maintaining worker lead. So we've lost 35 probes, yet we're still in the 70 plus range. And we've also lost, in terms of resources, 13,000 to his 6,700. We are getting our ass smashed over and over. And it doesn't matter because we're mining such a healthy economy. And now, look at this. Breathing room. We have breathing room. His army finally pushed itself to death. It finally died. And he actually stopped for a second to make more drones. So the middle one's kind of fucked up still. This one's still okay. This one's been saturated up a bit now. It's got a little bit of fucked up situation going on here, but it's mostly saturated. And he definitely fixed his drones count.
Macro your ass out of this.
He definitely fixed the drone count a little bit. But now we're no longer tied in supply. Now I'm suddenly taking a lead by 30 over him, and it's going to continue to get even worse than that. Because again, we're already at ideal saturation again, and we've been maintaining this as much as possible the entire game. Macro, 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 macro. So now we go fast forward to the next fight, and this is going to be one of those things where the Zerg is going to just be, you know, it's going to be domination for the Zerg. Because the scariest thing of all, here's the scariest thing of all. The Zerg is still on really low tech. And we aren't. We're on Archons now with Immortals. And we still have Gateway units supporting, but we're on Archon Immortal against Ravager Zergling. And it has a little bit of Hydras in it. This is a scary ass army for Zerg to fight now. This is not good for Zerg to deal with. Zerg is going to take a very poor fight here. We'll talk more. I don't want to go too much into detail about composition. We'll talk more about that again later. I just want you to know about supply. Even though we're losing a lot repeatedly, somehow we're always managing to be ahead. And it's just because it's not about what you lose, it's about what you gain and generate. If you generate, if I can generate $100 an hour versus someone who can generate only $10 an hour, and we both have, if he has to spend $30 at the end of the hour, and I have to spend only $40 at the, I have to spend a little bit more than he does. I have to spend $40, or even if I have to spend $60 at the end of the hour, I have to spend double he does. He's like negative 20, and I'm still positive 40. Like, numbers don't fucking lie, and the more you generate, the better off you're gonna be. And that's what again, this whole guide so far has been about. The crux of it is generation is key. And understanding how to utilize generation is key to be better at StarCraft. It's your foundation of macro in this game. So now he's fighting an army where he's 50 supply down. And I'm eating biles again, guys. No micro at all here for Protoss. We are just taking bile after bile after bile right in the middle of my army. Just eating biles again. But does it matter? Because when the fight's over, all we're going to do is remax. And now some of our army stops following, some of our army stands there, and some of our army actually goes all the way in to die. And he's transfusing. He's playing like a god. Resources lost. I have 18k to 10k. But guess what? We've set up all of our bases, and we're taking another expansion here in a second. Or we will soon, because all of our bases are fully saturated at this point for the most part. And, I mean, it feels like this game could have been a stressful situation where you're like, oh my god, vibe. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Are we going to die? Am I going to die? Is this game going to die? But at the end of the day, no. As long as you just can outpace your opponent with macro, no, you won't die. And we've been doing that all game. We're eating biles again. Good God, we're eating biles like crazy. It's like the 50th or 60th bile I've eaten this game. There's another one. Now watch the supply again. We both go down, and we go up during the fight. I'm not tunnel vision. I'm not focus firing. I'm not moving it out of bile. I am just macroing. And now suddenly he kills this army, and I already have another one. And now we're max. It's no longer a 50 supply lead. Now it's a 100 supply lead. And at this point, you can't win anymore. You can't, like, if this army's pushing in your face, you are dead. This is a big difference of supply here. So he's coming forward. He's trying to survive however he can. And it's not even, again, guys, the big thing to note, it's not even just about this army. Because I'm going to remake more units during the fight wherever I can with my 23 production buildings. I'm always going to keep remaking. And then he's dead. Even though at the end of the game, we lost... When he's dead and I just killed his army, we still overall lost 6,000 more resources than he did. But we, again, if we talked about how much we mined, my number, like, it would be like this. Think about it like this, okay? If this was the Zerg, okay? Let's use this, like, this gray line here as, like, the base. If this was the Zerg, okay? If that was the Zerg right there, or I'll do it like this. If that was the Zerg right there, like, he mined up to the Immortal in terms of, like, this is how tall his mountain of minerals were this game, which it could represent, like, 27,000 resources overall mined this game for Zerg out of all of his bases. The amount of money we mined this game, legit, would probably be about 50k of resources for Protoss. So if I lose 6,000 more resources than he does, 6,000 off of 50 is still 44. 24,000 off of 50 is still 26. And then 18,000 off of like 27 is still, now you're down to like, oh, well, we're basically just fucking dead now because we only have 9,000 resources that we have, that, you know, that were left. So I still have way more is what I'm trying to say. A fuckload more. Again, the reason why I know this, that's the reason why I can kind of estimate these kinds of numbers is because this is what you calculate per minute, roughly. And it fluctuates up and down throughout the game. But again, I'm just averaging, I'm estimating. It's totally fine. This is exact, but this is only a one-time thing. This is what has accumulated to this point in the game. It's not like this happens every minute. This is literally once, so far what's happened in the game one time. There's no multiplying this at all. So this is nowhere near as much as this. The reason why the reason why you can tell this is nowhere near as much as what this is because this not only includes the current bank accounts that we have, it also includes every single building that has ever been made on this map. It includes every single thing that's not dead yet, like army-wise, overlords that aren't dead, all my gateways that, you know, are still here, all my pylons, all my gases, all my probes, all my nexus, all my forges. Every building is included in this because it's not dead yet. This only counts for what's dead now. So it's very important to know these things. Economy. Fuck. I'm going to go back in the replay. Sorry. I forgot. One more time. Good Lord. I forgot it again. I get so carried away with this macro talk because it's so important. Walling. We'll talk about walling really fast. Again, I just want you guys to feel comfortable with it. So like we talked about before, the correct wall with the pylon is just to ideally get the pylon where the edge of the pylon is somewhere like this. Like it could be there, it could be there, it could be there. Like in this area, like it's close enough to the wall to where like between the wall and the edge of the pylon field is only like about that far. And why would that be that far? Because that, if a pylon is this far away, if the edge of the pylon field is that far away from the wall, you know what that means? One grid spot above that, the middle of a gateway could be there, which means the edge of a gateway could be there. Even though if the edge of the gateway is off the pylon field, it could still touch the wall to the gateway, which creates a wall. Okay, I just want you guys to know that. So that's how that goes. So we actually, in this game right here, we're actually walling our gateway. We're going to go in a diagonal wall from here upwards to there, which again is fine. And the way we're going to do it is our gateway gets tucked into the wall here. We're going to build a second building right above the gateway and another building right above that. But we're not going to make a fully sealed wall. And we're also not going to build... Also, the big thing to note is we're never going to build our second building on the other wall first. Don't be the guy that builds your buildings like that first. Don't ever fucking do that. Do not ever do that because it makes it so much harder to properly estimate how far you need to be between buildings. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to set up our second building right here, right off the bat, once we're ready to build it. But we're not going to build it right there. We're just going to lift it by 1. So instead of putting it down right there, we're going to raise it by 1 like that. Go north by 1 grid spot, so it'll go like this. Up by 1, and now the building will be there. That's all it is. We just rotate it up by 1 spot. And now we can build it, and what that does is it creates a hallway right there that is 1 grid spot wide that a stalker or a ground unit can sit inside of and hold position so Zerg can't flood into your base. And then you can finally, once you have your second building put down like right there, you can put easily your third building against the wall touching your other building, and it's not hard at all. Because if you put, let's just say hypothetically, you put this building too far down by 1. You put it there. And now you're like, oh shit. The only way I can build my building now is if I literally fully seal the wall right there. And now it's like a complete wall and I can't actually move out of my base anymore. Or now you have to build like a second pylon, like there, to be able to build a second gateway like right there, below the first one you built up there. And it makes your wall super awkward and weird, and it takes longer to make. Don't be the guy that builds the wall off the other wall. Build only your first building off the wall and then go from that building towards the other wall. So much easier to build that way. So that's exactly what I do here. You'll see my core go down here, not here. Like that. So I build it. So now that's a hallway between my buildings that a unit can sit inside of. And I can easily fill in the last building right there above the core. And it makes a full wall to where the only entrance into my base now is there. Into my base. And again, a stalker can block that, so a unit can't get in my base now. Which is ultimately, again, what we do. Right here. Stalker. Like that. And now if Zerglings attacked me, they would all be getting piled up right out here, because that's the only way they can get in the base is through the stalker. And only 1 link at a time could hit the stalker, or maybe 2, because of how we set the wall up. It's blocking the Zerg player. That's how you want a wall against Zerg specifically. That's how you want to do it, dude. Okay, probably 1 more game, I think, and then we'll probably get promoted to Silver 2. Okay, nice. Tell them to avoid 1 hex units, because that's hard to keep a unit in hold position. What? Say what now? Okay, we're against the Protoss, so we'll try to wall against Protoss properly. So let's put our pylon again. It could be there, 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 there. These all work. It's all close enough to the ramp. So we'll put it there. It's totally fine.
You must construct additional pylons.
Okay, let's go ahead and build our gateway. Alright, and then let's go ahead and we can chrono boost our base and we can get ready to build our natural. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that person was saying. Tell them to avoid 1 hex units. Every single unit for Protoss is large. Large enough to, like, wall the door. Zealot, Adept, or Stalker are all large enough. Again, we'll talk more about advanced walling and shit as we go through the league. You don't have to learn everything in Silver. But for now, you have the idea, concept into it. And every unit is big enough to block the door. So there's no unit for Protoss that's like a Zergling size. Every unit is on the larger end. The medium to larger end. And I would say we're not even making Zealots in these games unless we're getting 100% all in early. Like we're getting attacked and we're like, oh, let's make Zealots. So, yeah, it's fine. It's one of those things I feel like it once again is going to confuse people. Where they're like, I feel like me explaining it already is making people go like this. What? What? What is he talking about? Don't worry about it, guys. You're fine. You're totally fine. Okay. So remember how we talked about earlier in this video, we talked about how Protoss and Terran can be a 2-grid spot here? Just like that. This way Archons can fit through it. Because there's a lot less threat of like Zerglings running your base, because Zerg is the only race that can do that. So against Zerg, ideally, again, you want to have that 1-grid opening where it's only the 1-grid spot, like we just talked about a second ago in the last previous wall example. But against Protoss and Terran, I highly recommend you have a 2 spot if you want to wall it all. You don't have to wall it all, but if you do wall it all, 2-grid spot, way better. Because you don't need to, it's less important to have a stalker in the doorway. Again, for now. Again, later on, it actually has relevancy, but we'll talk about that much later in like Diamond League, once we actually start learning real builds. For now, it's so above us. You could, against Protoss and Terran, you could not wall it all if you want to. It's fine. But you do need to start walling against Zerg. Against Zerg specifically, walling is starting to become a mandatory thing. So just know it's really only mandatory against Zerg. So if you want to say against Terran and Protoss, I hate walls, I don't want to deal with it for now, don't even do it. It doesn't matter. Oh yeah, we're supposed to scout. It's fine. You know what? Here, this is a good example. This is a good example. So I got carried away talking to what the chat thing. If you actually forget to scout in Silver League, and you're like, whoops, dang it, vibe, I didn't scout, and you remember like I just did, like right now. You know what you should do? Just build a battery. Just to say, just for the benefit of the doubt, go, you know what? Let's just build a battery. That's all you gotta do. Don't freak out. Don't shit your pants. You don't need to wear a diaper. It's okay.
Get some prime.
I've just fixed the problem. We just built a battery. Yo, Christina Thor and Jav MCS, thank you very much for the support, guys. Much appreciated. Much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're going to build a thingy. Okay. And we're going to keep making stalkers. We can make an immortal. Or sorry, we're making an observer first. Make our gases. Add this nexus to our nexus control group. Okay, so he's attacking us. A move the area. Make probes. Don't supply block. Let's make a couple pylons. And our money's getting a little high again, right? We're like, oh, dude, my money's getting high. I can't actually spend it properly. So what can we do? Let's make some more money in a second here. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a couple more stalkers with Warp Gate. Let's make some more gateways as well, because we have a little bit of extra money. Like 2 more gateways is fine. Start making stalkers. Okay. And we're getting all in hard by voids. It's okay. What can we do? Just make probes, make stalkers.
I return to serve.
Can re-rally now away from where the voids are. And now if we're getting all in, you can switch your chrono boost route, resort now. We're getting all in hard here. So now let's start chrono boosting maybe our stalkers instead. Like the gateways, instead of chrono boosting probes. We still want to make probes, but let's start actually making stalkers at a faster pace. Okay, now he's in my main base, so let's A move the main. Keep making probes, guys. Keep making probes. Keep making stalkers. Okay. Keep making stalkers. Keep making probes and stalkers. Let's also maybe try to fix my economies a bit. Maybe re-rally the main to the main. Re-rally natural to natural. And re-rally third to third, because we're losing probes like crazy on every base. So we need to, you know, rebuild probes. Okay, let's keep making stalkers. Keep making probes. And it seems like this game is going to be one of those games where we're going to break. And again, if it happens, it happens. If it happens, it happens. He killed my pilots, so now I can't make stalkers there anymore, so we can make stalkers here. Just keep trying. Don't give up. See if you can make it work.
I am here in the shadows.
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
Okay, he's killing all my pylons, powering all my gates. So we have no choice. This is the last chance right here for us. Okay, and it looks like we're gonna die. Because now every one of my buildings is underpowered, and I have no way to build up my shit fast enough anymore. So this is one of those games where you're gonna die, and if it happens, it's okay. You know what? Again, just use this as a lesson to go, okay, I gotta start macroing or microing, and I gotta start doing all-ins now. Don't fucking freak out. It's okay. It's okay. Instead, you know what you should do? This is the perfect opportunity to go like this. This is a perfect opportunity to go like this. Let's just say, hypothetically, you were watching, like, Gold League, or like Platinum League or something, or whatever. You're like a silver game, and you're just trying to keep up with the, like, we're talking about the notepad trick that I showed you in the intro to B2GM, like the welcome to B2GM video at the very beginning. This would be the time when you would go back and go, okay, am I falling behind where I should be every game? Like, am I not up to par with what timers are? Like, am I just not keeping up with the build I'm trying to keep up with here with what the video vibe showed me? And you could just, again, push yourself to try to be better and try to be better and try to be better and try to be better. And a good tip I would give you would be, if you're basing yourself off of like a silver macro video and you lose like this, let's just say hypothetically you lose like this more than you would expect, pick up a fucking platinum video. Like, go up a couple leagues. Go up to platinum and grab like the first 5 minutes of a platinum video and go, okay, let's see if I can keep up with Vibes macro here. Because again, we're going to keep increasing the level of our macro every single time as we go through. And for now, all it is for now is, did we macro enough or not? That's all it is. And if you happen to die and you macroed, you're like, I macroed my heart out and I still died. You're still going to win more than 50% of your games if you do a good job of it. And I guarantee you're still going to get to the point to where you're going to eventually start learning how to actually micro in Diamond. Diamond Plus. So again, we didn't scout anything this game. Again, but it doesn't matter. We still made, what happened? He went for a 1-base all-in and we still made the battery. So it didn't actually matter. It didn't actually matter. And what ended up happening is, you know, the Voids caught us to a point where they overpowered us and killed us before we had enough stalkers. I would say this, okay? I would say this. Look, if I was going to do a replay analysis on this game for myself, I would say this. If I was watching your gameplay, I would go like this. I would go, okay, let's watch this really fast and go like this. First probe, how long does it take you to build a pylon? You build the pylon way above 100 minerals. You have a lot of minerals. What the fuck are you doing with those minerals? Build your pylon faster. And then I would go like this. Okay, you build your pylon, but your pylon's already late. Now, how you late? You're going to wait to make the gateway. Pylon's done in like 48 seconds, and you build the gateway at like 54 seconds. Super late pylon and late gateway now. Both things are really late. Let's go further forward. Your build's going to be a Nexus expand because you're not building a second gate right now. Your Nexus was on time. Your Nexus is good, so no complaints there. Where's your core? Your gateway was done at like 148 or something, or like 147, and your core goes down at like 155. So again, another like 8 seconds late on the core. So pylon, gate, and core all delayed. Pylon, gate, and core all delayed. Go further forward. And now, let's look at the next thing. Your core is done like at 233, 234, and you haven't even started a stalker. How fucking long does it take you to make a stalker? You started a stalker at 250. So your stalker, now that's the fourth thing that's delayed. Your stalker is delayed by like 14 seconds. Okay, these, see what I mean? Like these, you could definitely macro better, right? Again, I'm not trying to macro like a GM player. I'm trying to macro like a legit silver player. I'm trying to give a real example here of like 10-30 max out pacing. But if you lose like this, it is not about your micro. It's not about how it's like, how can I just do all-ins now that I see in tournaments? No. It's about fix and clean up your macro as much as you can. Get better at it all the time. Get better at it. Get better at it. Macro faster. Get better at timing your shit better. And look at what happens here. We make the first stalker, right? Look at this. First stalker pops out at 3:20. How long do we wait for the second stalker to start? Second stalker starts at 3:31. So we waited 11 seconds to make our second stalker. Like, these are the things that are gonna kill you. I'm really glad I died like this, because people die like this all the time. And this is where notepad trick comes in, because this is a perfect opportunity for you to use time as a resource. And instead of going, well, I have no fucking idea what I should have at 5 minutes. I don't know. You instead go, holy shit. At 5 minutes, Vibe has fucking 7 stalkers. Oh my, and an immortal. Wow. I literally had 3 stalkers at that time. What the heck? How am I so far behind? And you break it down and go, oh, gateway super late. Core is super late. Stalker isn't even made on time. Things like that. That's how you build yourself up as a player. If you die to all-ins, you grow by speeding up your macro. Because again, this is not even good macro here. This is still really slow macro. You can definitely speed up. But if you can't, and here's the crazy thing. If you think this is still fast macro, you have room to improve on, right? If you're like, well, Vibe, your silver videos and B2GM, those are incredibly fast. There's no way I could ever do that. My answer to you would be, you totally can. Yes, you totally can. Just practice it, and you'll definitely not only get as fast as that, you'll 100% surpass it and move on even further and further and further. So, and look at the second stalker finish. Second stalker finishes, and what do? 4 minutes, second stalker pops out. How long do I wait to make another stalker? I don't start another stalker until 4 minutes and 23 seconds. We waited 23 seconds to make stalker number 3. That's not good. That is not good at all. This is why we died to this. Speed your macro up if you have if you deal with this more often than not, you're like, okay, this shit is annoying. Well, this is a perfect example for you to get your fucking ass in gear and then macro faster. Because if you don't, you'll die like this all the time. But again, what did we do while we were getting attacked? We just stuck to the plan. Try to macro, try to macro, try to macro, try to macro, and it wasn't enough. And why was it not enough? It's not because Void Rays are imbalanced. It's not because Stalkers suck. It's not because this guy is a micro god. It's not because he's a Masters Smurf player. It's because our macro was pure crap this game. And it could have been better. It could have totally been better. You can definitely improve upon it. Just, what do we talk about all the time? 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. That is what's going to make you better at this game. Not turning this into a situation where you go, well, I got to scout the proxy stargates with probes from now on. Find them and kill the pylon. No, it doesn't matter. No, that does not matter. Don't think about it like that. It's because we didn't macro enough. We didn't macro enough. And ultimately, we break and die. Anyway, so now we're just dead because we actually have way too few probes. And here's the crazy part too, right? Here's the crazy part. Look at the probe count. We have 20 versus 29. We've killed 0 and we've lost 40 fucking 3 probes already. We've already made 63 probes this game. We're almost keeping even economies here with the Protoss while losing 43 probes. We like, this was actually, here's the crazy thing too. This was so close to holding this. It was so close to holding this. If we just stabilized once and our stalker count started building up, but like, so if we got to a point where we had like 7 stalkers before the next 2 void rays, because he's sending void rays 2 at a time. If we had like 7 stalkers before the next 2 voids showed up and we still were out macroing him from that point on, we would have never lost the game. But it showed up before we were ready for it because our macro at the start of the game was not good enough. That is why we lost. It was so close to holding. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. You think you would have held if you overcharged the battery? I know why you weren't just curious. What? Would I don't know what that second part of that sentence meant, but would I have held it? Probably, honestly, because the reason why is because he wasn't attacking my he was not attacking my pylon, and he wasn't attacking my battery. He was only attacking my stalkers. But again, overcharged battery is something that I know it's just one button click, but we just introduced batteries, and I'll probably introduce battery overcharge a little bit later. It's fine. It is a very good tool. It's super good, but I don't want to... The whole point of this whole series is I don't want to just, like, pile everything onto you and be like, well, now you know everything. Figure it out yourself and apply it. I want it to be like a gradual process where you can be like, okay, I feel like I can do that. Not me going, okay, do these 30 things, and then you'll win the game. So, yes, battery overcharge definitely would have helped a lot there. We probably would have held there with that, but... that requires more attention to be paid to what's going on, and also it requires you to actively do it at the right time. Well, I'll probably introduce battery recharge maybe like in Gold League. Just again, I'm trying to. We just introduced the fact that you're building batteries at this point now. Okay, so we just made a gateway. Let's go scout. Let's right-click his mineral line at the natural, and then shift right-click our mineral line at the natural. Chrono boost our nexus, and then make our gas. And then we can get ready to take our nexus at our natural too. By the way, I'm really glad I lost that game as well, because it's such a real fucking example for what people go through. Like that was a perfect example of why everyone goes, Vibe, you never get all in your series, but I do. Like, the answer is no. I actually do get all into my series, but the reason why it doesn't look like I do is because I just macro better than what they do. It literally feels like it's not an all in because I out macro them. So that was an example of me getting all in, and then my macro was not good there, and I died for it, which is exactly what happened to you if your macro is also not good. But again, this is Silver League, so it's realistic. Okay, so we're making another pylon. We're making our probes, all that jazz. And guess what, guys? He doesn't have a natural. Terran doesn't have a natural. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep it super simple. We scouted after the gateway. And now we're just going to build a shield battery. Okay? That's all we're doing. Yo, Aki OG, thank you for the sub, dude. Much love. Thanks, man. Re-rallying my nexus to my natural, and now let's build our battery here. Because again, no natural means potential attack. We might get attacked. So rally our units in front of the natural and call it good. And now we just went through the process of getting our nuts kicked, or our ass kicked, whatever you want to call it. Let's go ahead and really try to keep on tabs of going, okay, stalker's going to pop. Make another stalker. Let's not waste 40 seconds between 3 stalkers. Let's make a robo. And let's take a gateway. Add them into our control group. Rally them as well over there. And keep making probes and keep making units. We can chrono boost our nexus again for more probes.
I am here in the shadows.
Okay, let's make another stalker. Make more probes. Let's make an observer. We can make another pylon as well. And we're doing a pretty good job here, I would say, of mostly macroing my units out. We definitely, I would say, we're on par to be a tiny bit faster than last game. Again, very doable for silver. I'm not going crazy here. We're still missing a bunch of chronos and stuff, and it's okay. Just again, do your best, and you'll grow. Like, every time you practice it, you get like slightly better than you were before every single time. And before you know it, a week or two goes by, or maybe a month, and you're like, damn, I macro a fuckload better than I used to. This is insane. Okay, so we're gonna take our third base, and at this point now, we're already back to like our traditional ways of Bronze League, which is just macro, but we're doing it a little bit faster than we did in now that we're in Silver League. Okay, so Stalker, make our Immortal. Let's go ahead and make our Pylon. Put our probes on the base. Put our probey boys over there. Nice and nice. Stalker. Make an Immortal.
I am here in the shadows.
I'm Chrono Boost our probes at this point, because we haven't done it in a while. We should definitely be doing it constantly. The concept about Chrono Boost as well is you want to spend it as much as possible. You don't want to just be like, I have 150, let's start using it now. You want to be spending it like consistently. We'll definitely do it more consistently again as we grow, but for now I don't think people will do that. I think people will miss a lot. So we're doing it whenever we remember to do it. Just try to remember, do it all the time. That's what you should be doing as much as you can. Okay, money is going well. I'm still able to spend it, but it's starting to go up a little bit. I also need to expand again, because we're fully saturated, so let's go ahead and set up another base. Spend our money again.
I'm here in the shadows.
Make our gases. And our probe count is almost done. We're at 80, or sorry, we're at 68, and we're going to 85. Again, that's where our goal is. Our money's still going up, guys. It's hard to spend it. I'm doing a great job. I'm trying, but my God, it's getting hard to spend it. So what are we gonna do? Let's add in our upgrades, and let's also add in a couple more gateways, because I'm barely able to keep this down below like 800 or 600 minerals at a time. So now make another like 3 gates just to help us make the more expenses here. Let's re-rally all my nexus to this new base. Add these in to group 4. Make a couple stalkers. And go check my mineral line over here. We need to fix it. Put 3 on that gas. Put 3 on that gas. Take 4 off. We grab 6. We shift click 2 off. So now we only have 4. Put them on this mineral line. And probe count currently is at 77. We're super close to finishing. Now we can get weapons and shields. Get a Templar Archives while we're at it. Get a couple more pylons so we don't block. And now let's start chrono boosting our upgrades instead, because our probe count is basically done. So we don't need to chrono boost probes anymore. Instead, we can chrono boost immortals and upgrades. Keep making stalkers. But this one's kind of full, so let's just make it over here now. Okay, let's make another base. And put pylons here. Shift click the mineral line. And now check out my my resources, right? Tons of gas, not as much minerals. So how about we make 4 Templar for 2 Archon? And then we can make 1 Stalker. And we can make an Immortal. Make these an Archon. Properly grab this gas going here. And now my money's going up again, and I'm almost maxed out, but my money's gonna start getting crazy here. Also, this is oversaturated, so let's grab some probes off that. Send them somewhere else. Grab 2 probes off this. Send them up here. And let's now make a bunch of gateways, maybe like another robo, because we're starting to up our production here, because we can't spend our money anymore. It's going way too fast. So let's add on like 5 more for now, whatever. We're not maxed yet. We're not building a bank yet, because we still got to keep production going. but we need more. So we added a robo, 2, 3, 4 gateways. Cool stuff. Take another probe off the mineral line, hold shift, click the mineral patch over here. Okay, let's go ahead and make some stalkers. Make an immortal. Make our upgrades. Corona boost them, and we're about ready to start the next upgrades of 2-2. It's very close. So here we go, 2-2. And let's grab our robo and all those other gateways we just made and add them in our control group. Now we have 11 buildings in that control group. Okay. Make a few more stalkers. Okay, let's take a stalker on the right side. Check the map. Take one of those 2 stalkers. Have them go to the left side. A move there. Shift. A move there. There. Keep in mind, when you do a stalker, you don't hold, like, you don't have this one go do it, and then click your other one and still hold shift and tell him to do it. Because what it'll do is it'll tell the stalker to go through this whole path first and then shift there second, and he'll probably die in the process. So you'll just never have a stalker going to the left side if you do it that way. Okay, so we just made 2 immortals, and now we can make a few more stalkers. So we go stalker, 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 and if you max that at 10:10, you could go, damn, I actually beat the timer of 10:30. I'm gonna strive to do that even better next time. But if you're ahead of the quota, fucking thumbs up for you, man. Great job. That's really good. Keep doing it and always try to do it better. Don't ever get complacent and think, oh, I'm already doing it perfect. Don't ever think that way. You can always do it better every time. This game gets really hard as you get higher level because there has to be like more multitasking with everything. So always try to do your max out better and better and better and better and better. Try to never mess your build up. So now we can A move, shift A move, shift A move, shift A move. Behind this, let's make a bunch more gates because we need to make the 20 range of gateways, or 20 range of production, which includes gateways. Okay, let's make another gateways here. Make like a pylon there, whatever, for more warpins if we need to. And now, how many gateways do we have? Let's grab them all. In this space, we just made a bunch more. We're at 17. In this space, we just made a bunch more. Now we're at 22. So we're good. That's plenty for now. Now let's check our bases. Good. Not good. Fix that. Good. Good. We send them up here. All good. Make some stalkers. Make some immortals. Get some upgrades going. Chrono boost them. Chrono boost our immortals as well. Chrono boost our upgrades. And then all of our gateways are coming online again. So now would be another round of making a bunch of stalkers because we have way more minerals and gas still. We can click really fast, like, and we're maxed out. And then again for the fight, this is what it kind of looked like as we got there. This is a situation where a player just has a, I would say, an optimally efficient build. Which is, again, this is what happens to you if your build is not efficient. You just, it doesn't matter how good you are at everything else, you just get fucked. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to have macro to unlock everything else. So when we push him, right here, we end up fighting in the middle, and we're 200 supply versus 100 supply. And again, this is just a move. So our army is just aggroed right now because he's shooting us, and we're attacking him because he's just automatically shooting us too. So his tanks go down in the middle of nowhere. I would say he might have had a better chance to defend this. He might have still broke though, but he might have had a better chance to defend this if his tanks were still back there and the Liberator was sieging the ramp. But he still might have even, like, he might have even broke to my first wave from that as well because it was 100 supply versus 200 supply. But even if he didn't break, he would have just remaxed and done it again and again and again and again and again. So he would have eventually died either way because he was too far behind at that point. Ugh. Nice. Now, we're against a random player. If you're against a random player, I recommend, again, remember how we talked about walling is important against Zerg? Since we're lower level, let's just pretend this is Zerg every time. Because walling doesn't, if it doesn't matter against Protoss, and if it doesn't matter against Terran, let's do the only one it would matter against, which is Zerg. Let's pretend it's Zerg, and let's build a wall as if we're playing against Zerg. And if it happens to be Terran, or if it happens to be Protoss, whatever, But if it's Zerg, at least now we have a wall. Okay. So our probe can sit here for a second while we... Also, if you build your pylon here, you can go back and mine minerals and then come back and build the gate because it's closer to the nexus. But if your probe builds the pylon here, just leave your probe here for a second. It's fine. That way you don't miss your gateway timing because, again, that's really important. So let's now build our gateway. Gateway's now been built. Cool. Now we can scout the natural and shift-click our natural come back. Chrono boost our nexus. Okay. Go ahead and let's go ahead and expand now. Take our base over here, our natural. And look, we see no natural from him. We see no setup at all on the minimap. Nothing's there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to build a battery. So let's build our core now. This probe's still here. Let's just build our cyber core. And let's get ready to build a battery really quick behind it. So build our cyber core right there. Send this guy back to go mine. We can build another... And you can't build a battery, by the way, until your core is done. So we have to wait for that to finish. Let's build our gas. Rally our nexus to the new building gas. We're at 3 out of 3 on this one. This is nice. We can build a pylon while we're waiting with this probe. Like right there, it's fine. Right click the gas. And we're good to go. Okay, so we're getting all in. It is Zerg, and we're getting all in. So it is what it is. There's a lot of aggression coming here, guys. One of the things we should do now, if we cannot build a pylon here anymore. The space is just dead. Let's go ahead and build a robo up here. Because we can't build a stalker or anything now. Let's build a gateway. Keep building probes. And at this point now, we have to just kind of A-move our probes. We have no choice. Keep building probes. And if he runs away like this, a good thing you can do too is maybe green box like some of your probes and just right click the mineral line. Just not all of them, just like some of them, like 8 or something. And just try to make probes. Keep making probes. Keep making probes, guys. I don't even know what's happening to my probes right now, but I'm still making probes. Now, with these buildings we just made, let's go ahead and make an immortal first. We're making an immortal in a second here. My money's kind of fucked because we're having to run around our base so much. Let's chrono boost it because, again, this isn't all in now. We're getting attacked really heavily, and let's go back to making probes. And if we have any extra money left over, ideally I would want to have made stalkers, but now we can make zealots because he killed my core. So keep making probes. Make zealot because we have extra money. Keep making probes. Keep making probes. Chrono boost your nexus. We can A move towards where the probes are dying right now. Okay, and let's now go back to the front of our base. Let's try and rebuild the pylon over here, so we can rebuild the cyber core for the base. And with any extra money, we'll use production for units. So we'll make another zealot for now. Chrono boost our probes. And notice how my money's going back up again. It's definitely going up because we're making more probes over time. Let's build another cyber core. Let's now, or we can't build a battery again because the battery's dead. Now let's put our immortal in the doorway, like right here, and put him on hold position because that's the doorway right there. So now we can rally our nexus or our gateways right behind it. And the immortal's like the tankiest boy here, so let's just put him in the doorway. Zealots are not nearly as tanky as an immortal, so it's scary to put a zealot in the doorway. Let's make another immortal. And now we're about ready to start making stalkers. We only made zealots because he killed my core and I couldn't build a fucking stalker. Build a couple pylons so we don't block, or ideally don't block for too long. And now let's fix our base up here. We're a little off on saturation because we moved our probes, so we want to again fix that. Let's put another pylon like right there, maybe another pylon like right there. Hold shift, click the mineral, the gas, because we're only at 2 out of 3. So he'll come back and be 3 out of 3 when this is done being built. Now we want to build stalkers, get a warp gate, keep building probes. Let's start a battery in case we get all in again.
I return to serve.
We can chrono boost our probes. Okay, this base needs to be relocated, so we need to re-rally here, so because we're oversaturating. So let's grab the oversaturation, send it down, and we re-rallied as well. Okay, let's make 2 stalkers again. Let's make an immortal again. And now if this guy attacks us, we have a very high chance of not dying. Based on who knows what he's doing though, right? I don't know, but does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Why? Because efficiency beats non-efficiency, and if this guy is like doing anything non-efficient after his 12 pull that he just did, he's gonna have the worst economy in the world. We're talking like 15 drones or something, and I already have like 38 probes at this point, or like 42 probes. I have a lot of probes already. Okay, so let's take our 3rd base, build our pylons, shift click the mineral line, take our gases. Do we have an observer? We don't have an observer. We need an observer just in case. What if it's a stealth unit? Like what if it's a burrowed roacher? What if it's a lurker? Fucking who knows? I don't know. We always want at least 1 observer. But we needed to make the immortal first because we were getting all in, which is why we had to make the robo so fast. And we only made the robo so fast because he killed my core and I couldn't even start a stalker. And he also killed my pylon. I couldn't make anything out of my gateway. So I was like, I have 100 gas. Might as well make a robo. Makes sense. It makes sense. It was just, you know, trying to make the most of a bad situation there. Why did we make that choice? Because I thought, how can I beat this with macro? Not, how can I, like, box the lings in with probe micro, trying to cut them off and, like, chrono boost out zealots or something. Okay, so we're getting attacked. I have no idea what's attacking us. Let's go ahead and move towards it. Because, again, what are we doing? We're trying to keep our 3rd base alive. Okay, he's attacking me with drop lord lings at this point as well, with carpet bomb. Let's go ahead and move the mineral line. Keep chrono boosting probes, guys. This is, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a smurfy player right here. That's definitely a tactic that's above fucking silver. Okay, we'll warp in some stalkers here, and we'll try to now move back towards the main. So we moved the 3rd, and now we're moving towards the main base. Keep making probes. We can make another nexus too, because I mean we can afford it. Re-rallying my nexus once again to their own bases because we just lost about 20 probes again. So chrono boost my nexus, chrono boost my nexus. Move the last bit of that. Make another immortal. Make stalker, make stalker. Okay. Let's move my natural now because there's another overlord there too. And now, when we have a little bit of extra money, let's try to maybe build some gateways here for our nexus. Okay, let's chrono boost. Chrono boost. Just making probes, guys. Mainly making probes here, and we're filling in because again that's a priority. We just lost a lot of them. The priority is economy, and then we're making production out of our buildings as we can afford it. That is what we're doing all day. Let's go ahead and move towards our 3rd now. Chrono boost, chrono boost, chrono boost. Now, we're kind of broke, okay? And this guy's all about attacking us all day, repeatedly. So, what I'm thinking we can do here, with what we have, is, again, we're trying to make as much as we can, as fast as we can. That's what we're doing. We can fix our economies as well as they go. Let's grab a couple probes and send them down to our 3rd base. And every base is coming back online, mostly. But here pretty soon, because this guy's so aggressive, let's go down the forge route and just add in cannons and batteries when we can, because this guy is super aggressive. Will we be able to hold? Maybe. If we out-macro him, there's a chance. There's a chance if we out-macro him. I'm not gonna lie, by that drop lord technique he did, I was kind of questioning it, and he also did a 3-prong attack at the same time. But it is what it is. Okay. Keep making stalkers, keep making immortals. Okay, we're getting attacked over here, so let's A-move the area. Let's make some stalkers. Make stalker. Keep chrono boosting probes. Chrono boost probes. Chrono boost probes. Let's take our gas. Let's take our gas. Let's get double forge. And a council. And let's also get ready. Let's ready rally all of our bases to our third, and we're fully saturated here. So let's take another base in a second here. Okay, so we got double forge, get a council. Let's get 6 probes on these gases. Take 3 off, put 3 on. We're good there. Throw this probe down to my other base. Put probes on gas down here. Probe on gas. Probe on gas. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and take another base up here. Pylon. Pylon. Okay, we're getting attacked on the main, so let's A-move that. And now again, remember we talked about cannon battery? Look, he's going mutas too now. Cannon, cannon, battery. Okay, now he's killing that base. That base is going to die. We're busy dealing with this now, right? It is what it is. Okay, let's go A-move now towards the front of my base. And he's got lurkers too. Okay, we're super dead. This is, if this happens to you guys, again, don't beat yourself up. It is what it is. This dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, does not belong in fucking Silver League. Let's make cannon, cannon, battery. And we're super dead. We are super duper dead. Okay. And now the cannon battery is starting to kind of help us. He killed all my production out there, so I can't actually build anything right now. And now my last cannons are breaking. And that's GG.
You are fantastic for the StarCraft community at VibeLol.
Thank you, Krugmonks, for the tier 3, man. Much love. Much love, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, what happened here is our opponent multi-pronged us every single time. And, again, we're not really at the stage. We're not really at the stage of multi-prong yet, guys. Because you know what multi-prong is? It's a lot of micro, okay? It's a lot of micro to be involved with that. And a genuine silver player cannot multi-prong. It doesn't happen. So, again, if you want my honest opinion, this is not Silver League. We don't have to get super mad about it. It's totally fine. This guy's just smurfing. It does happen. I would say, again, if you play a game like this where it's like, good lord, who is this guy? Just chalk it up to a random ass, like, it's a do-over and just play a different game. There's really no analysis about this game because, again, I don't want to break down how you should win this game right now because if I do, it breaks everything I've already taught you because it will fuck up your multitask. This guy is clearly not silver, so this is not even a silver game. So again, but don't worry. We get players like this. They're not going to beat us forever. Once we get to a point, we'll eventually start beating players like this. Once we can actually handle multitasking, it's totally fine. It's around Diamond League is when that happens. So, again, don't get frustrated. It's totally cool. Don't get mad about it. You're all G. And yeah, every time I lose the players like that, it's always funny. Every time I lose the players like that, everyone's always like, Vibe, beat this guy's ass, dude. Do it. Beat his ass, Vibe. Come on. That's not cool what he's doing to you right now. And I'm always, the way I always think about it is, guys, I have nothing to prove. It's a random guy on ladder. Yes, he's smurfing. We know this. It's not that hard to figure that out. It's clearly the skill level's way above what we're playing at right now. But why it doesn't make me feel bad at all. I'm making a guide. It's not a big deal. It's not like I just lost a tournament or something. It's not a big deal. Okay. So this time we're against a Protoss. So again, we don't need to worry about a wall if you don't want to. It's fine. We're definitely going to worry about walls later on in StarCraft. But for now, if you don't want to worry about it for Protoss and Terran, it's fine. Just as long as you worry about understanding how to make a wall against Zerg, you're still learning how to build a wall. And it is mandatory to build walls against Zerg. So it's totally okay. Okay, let's actually go scout, because we did just build the gateway, so we want to click his mineral line, hold shift, right click our mineral line, we click his main, and we click, or sorry, we click his natural, and we right click our natural. It's just, we just want to see, is this dude going for an early CC, or rather early Nexus, or is he not? And if he's not, we want to go for shield battery.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's build our cyber core right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's saturate our gas properly. Let's build our other gas. Tell our Nexus to rally to that gas, and then we can eventually build our pylon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never getting over it vibe. People are always so funny. You guys, it's not an ego fest. It's a guide for low level. It's a guide for silver players.
Oh, yeah.
We're just learning how to play the game right now. It's totally fine. I mean, it's lame that people do that in general, I feel. But yeah, it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Love these guides. Always gets me back into the game.
Yo, Costia Claire, thank you for the 7, dude. Thank you for the 7-month resub, dude. Much appreciated. So, guys, there was no Nexus from our opponent. So, what are we going to do? We're going to build battery. Let's go build a robo. Let's build a gateway. And let's build that battery at our natural. Let's make sure our we don't have our gateways rallied, so let's get these all put in a group. So 5, make probes. 4, make stalker. Rally in front of your battery. A move in front of your battery. Again, all we're doing is we're trying to play economical every game, regardless of what happens. You won't run into Smurfs and you won't run into all-ins every single game. If you lose a couple games here and there, it's totally okay. You will build yourself up as a player so much faster if you play this way. Trust me. Trust. Okay. So we're fully saturated on the natural. Let's go ahead and start our third. Because again, you can get faster and faster at this. Just know that, again, I'm not doing this at the epitome of how fast it can be. Don't doubt yourself if you've also run into the same problem that I'm running into right now. I'm not doubting myself because I know macro's going to win. I don't even question it. I already know what will happen. I know macro will ultimately get me advanced. 100%. Okay, let's make stalkers. Let's go ahead and make probes.
Can't play cause of Blizzard server problems. Too bad the company has fallen so far from grace. Can't run StarCraft, but hey, we've got Diablo Mobile.
Thank you, Doug. Sorry, dude. Okay, let's make an immortal. Let's make a couple stalkers. Stackers. Let's make a couple stackers. Don't forget the chrono boost. Chrono boost. Chrono boost. Chrono boost. Re-rally to my third. Grab a couple probes off this base. Send them down. Check 4, right? Always checking 4. We're trying to. We're missing it here and there, but we're trying to check 4. Check 5, check 4, check 5, check 4, check 5. Try to keep on top of it as much as possible. It is the priority still. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about it this time. Don't forget about it. Okay, money's starting to go up, guys. Money's starting to go up a little bit. We're keeping it down somewhat, but it's starting to go up. We're never getting down to like below 200, 100. It's starting to go up even more every time. Okay, so now that it's going up, let's go ahead and take our next nexus. Take our probe, build our nexus, build our pylons. Shift click the mineral line. 4, make more units. Stalker, Stalker, Immortal. Make probes. Make our gases. Okay. And now let's go ahead and add on our 2 forges, our council. And keep producing. Shift click the gas now because I took it off my gas for a second. 4 needs units again, so Stalker, Stalker, Immortal. Okay. And let's go ahead and take our next base up here. Take our probe up here. Take that shit. Don't supply block. Let's grab a probe and quickly make a few pylons. Put it on the gas where we just took it off. Take a probe off here. Make a couple pylons. Put it on the middle line where we just took it off with shift. 4 or 5. Check our production. Look at our upgrades. We can start weapons and shields. We can start our Templar Archives upgrade. And we can also start chrono boosting our immortals and our upgrades because our probe count is basically done right now. It's so close to being done. We're only like 1 round of probes away from being in the 80s. So we're right there. And now look at this base. It's about to be fully saturated. So what should we do? Take another base. Keep mining flowing. Keep it pumping. Let's take our gases here as well because it's going to saturate pretty fast. 3 more probes and now we're done. Mineral field got depleted as well, so let's grab a couple probes off here. Send them down. We can chrono boost our upgrades and our immortals. And now we don't really have a lot of gates, guys, so we've missed gates a lot this game. So let's go ahead and just build a bunch of gates now. Let's build like 8 gates because we haven't built gates for a while. And we have so many probes with only 2 gates now. So let's build like 8 gates. Just click 4 gates in the base with 4 more over here. Okay. Put our probes on gas to fix this mineral line. And fix this mineral line as well. Grab off a chunk of probes. And put them over here actually. Just because this is a new base again. That will be okay. Okay. Made Stalker Immortal. We can chrono boost our upgrades and our immortals. And now let's take a Stalker off each and go same thing again. A move, shift 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 A move. Why are we doing it now? Because we're getting close to maxing out. It's going to happen soon. We're within about a minute of maxing out here. So it's going to happen pretty quick here. And it takes about a minute for the Stalkers to do this process. Immortal, Immortal. Or sorry, Stalker, Stalker, make Immortal. Chrono boost new upgrades. Chrono boost our Immortals. Gas and minerals are getting close, so let's make maybe 1 more round of Stalkers and get ready to start making maybe another round of Templar. Stalker, 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 Stalker. Okay. And mineral-wise, how we doing? Needs to be fixed. Good. Good. Good stuff. This one's going to start getting saturated pretty fast, though, because, again, now this base is going to start mining out soon. Like, right now, it's about to start mining out. So let's take 1 probe off this, and let's go mine, or let's go start a new base down here. Shift, right-click the mineral line. And now this base is also getting, like I said before, it's why do I know that? Because it's going to start mining out after this one starts mining out. This one's mining out a lot. So now we can send probes elsewhere. Again, don't care where you send them to, just as long as it's to a base that has effective mining. Okay, we're getting attacked by a lot of DTs. Hey, move my army. Don't stop macroing. Build stuff, build stuff, build stuff. Let's make another Immortal. Okay. Let's also start now making a couple cannon battery, because why? We're getting attacked by a guy who wants to harass us with shit like DTs all over the place. So let's go to the Zerg strategy of going cannon, cannon, battery at every base. Cannon, cannon, battery at every base. Cannon, cannon, battery at every base. Don't touch your buildings either. Cannon, cannon, battery at every base. Cannon, battery. And how's my probes doing? We need more. So we just made some more probes. We're good. And now how's my money doing? Holy crap, we have so much gas, dude. Let's go ahead and make a bunch of Templar. Okay, let's make an Immortal as well. Now let's make all these bad boys into Archons. Let's Chrono Boost our upgrades. And Chrono Boost our Robo. And make this base too. Cannon, cannon, battery. Cannon, cannon, battery. Okay. How are we doing on resources? We can take gases here. This base is good. The upgrades need to be started. Let's Chrono Boost again. Gateway wise, let's do more Archons again. Okay, look at my gas now. We're getting really low. Let's start making the last couple of things as Archon. Or our last couple of things as Stalker. We just spent all of our resources back down to like, this is good again, right? Let's grab a couple of probes here and put them on the gas. And again, check my bases. This base is oversaturated. Fix it. Send them one over here and one over here. This base is still good. 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 This base is fresh. This base is good. This base is also still pretty fresh. Okay, we're pretty much maxed out. And we scouted. This is where his base is. So let's A move up to the top, like right here. Shift A move here. Shift A move here. Shift A move here. Shift A move here. Now here's the first time I'm going to teach you guys a cool trick, okay? I haven't showed you this in bronze yet. But if you know someone's using stealth units against you, check this out. Take your observer, right-click an immortal with it. Just one. It doesn't care what one you do. Just pick one immortal and call it a day. Now behind this, what are we going to do? We're going to make a bunch of gates and maybe like another robo so that we can properly, you know, remax. Gate, 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 and gate. And they're piling over there. Shift-click the mineral patch. Now let's start making stalkers and stuff. Well, first we'll add these into the control group. Add them in. Add them in. Add them in. And add them in. We're at 24 now. Cool. Now let's go ahead and make units wherever we can. And what I just did with that observer that's following, whatever immortal it's following, it's over here somewhere. It's not going to fly into death. It's going to always kind of stick with the army. And since the immortal's a range unit, it's most likely not going to die. It's got a higher chance not to, like, it's usually going to stay in the back. It's got more range than an Archon and a Stalker. Stalker has 6, or sorry, has the same range as a Stalker. It has more range than an Archon. Okay. So now, Chrono Boost our upgrades again. Dun, dun, dun. Anytime we lose units, we can make it. Okay, we lost a building here. We lost a cannon, so let's go ahead and make a cannon again. And let's make a couple more observers because this guy's going for a heavy cloak army. So we're going to make a couple more observers just because we don't know how much shit's going to be there that's invisible. Transfer some probes over down to here or something. We can saturate the gas. Why not? We can also make Archons now. So saturating gas is totally fine here. Base is good. Let's saturate the gas here as well. Why not? Because again, we're fully saturated on probes everywhere, so we have a lot of income regardless of everything. This base, good. We can start our Chrono Boost of our forge, of our armor now. This base is good. This base is still good. This base is still good. How about we take another base now? Because bases, again, it's time's going by, right? And bases are mining out. Bases are mining out. So we would take another base to make cannon battery at and keep it going. Now what happened in this game? This guy went mass Dark Templar and Gateway units. He made double Dark Shrines as well. He's a fucking psychopath. Okay, so we were like, oh my god! He's attacking us with a Stalker DT timing. We have a Mortal Stalker Observer. We managed to push him back. His DTs get completely obliterated here. We make cannon battery at every base because, again, it deals with people who annoy you and harass you. And then, well, actually, I'm sorry, I should have gone back and looked at the supply before that fight started. Look at the supply before the fight starts. It's always this kind of same thing. Whenever you get someone who plays cheeky and does some weird shit, a lot of times we have this like fat supply lead. Just because all we're doing is macroing. We're not doing crazy compositional attacks. Look at the probe count. Same problem again, right? We just lost 15 probes, yet it's still 70 versus 47, 48. And now, again, the supply is stabilizing with us super high. Vibe, what are you going to do scouting more in Gold League? And our army's on A move, and this is just what's happening. Our army's on full A move. And while our army was on A move, watch what was happening. Watch what happened while our army was on A move. And we did this because our opponent is playing an annoying style of going mass DTs. What happens? We don't just let 6 DTs run over each one of our bases because we're not too busy trying to micro an army. No. We just A moved our army, and instead we're just remaxing wherever we find open pylons with stalkers, and we're just making, again, cannon battery at every base. And look what happens when he shows up to a base that has cannon battery at it. He could have gone to any base. This base has cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Cannon battery. Every base is prepared. So if he splits them all up by 1, they all die to cannon battery. And if he goes to one specific base, here's what happens when he shows up when I have cannon battery. And suddenly the Dark Templar counterattack gets completely shut down. Makes our life so much easier because we set up a macro situational game here and not a micro situational game here. Again, if you can macro fast enough, though, that is when you micro. That's people always. I always have to explain this because I feel like people really don't understand that concept, and no matter how many times I say it, like there's always someone new that's like, "What? You're saying never micro?" No, I'm saying we're gonna start microing once we can macro so fast that all this shit we're doing with macro can be done like 5 times the speed of what we're doing it now, and then we also have free time then to also micro. That is when we'll actually start microing. And now this guy just has no base, right? He's got nothing really because he went for a mass Dark Templar build, and we have Observer that follows an Immortal, so it sees all of them and they just die. And then he dies. And then that's all he's got left and he's dead. So, new trick we learned that game was, and we'll do it all the time whenever we play against people who go cloak builds now, is if we A-move our army, we'll just take an Observer. Or in general, we can do it every time as well, even if we're not versing cloak, because we're not supposed to know what he has, right? The only reason why we knew he had DTs is because he attacked us. We would have had no idea if we attacked him. So what we can do is every time we A-move, we can A-move, shift, click, 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 and then grab our Observer from the control group. We can click on its camera to go directly to it, and then right-click it on an Immortal. I'll show you how to do that as well, and if you can't actually find it, if you're like, where is it? I don't find it. I don't know where it is. Don't worry, we'll find it. I hope this is not another Smurf. I've played this guy in Masters before. Oh boy. We'll see. We'll see. So it might be just another Terran player named Mystic, but there is a Terran player named Mystic who's in Masters. So we'll see. That's why I say I hope it's not the real one that I know of. Okay, let's go ahead and build our gateway. Let's go ahead and scout natural to natural. Again, keeping it super simple. Just knowing if our opponent expands really fast or not. That's all we're looking at. And if there's no expansion, we just make a battery. Is he gonna seal my gas? If he seals your gas, he seals your gas. It's whatever. Don't worry about your gas getting stolen at this league. Okay, let's get ready to take our natural. put our rally point of our Nexus onto our gas. Let's build our Nexus. Right click our probe back into the gas. Build another probe. And yes, he's stealing my gas, so it's all good. Okay, let's build a cyber core. And now if he steals your gas like this, just rally. Well, I mean, okay, if you let it finish, I would say rally your probes down to the natural. But if he does this, where it's like almost dead still, you can more than welcome to kill it. If it's super low, just kill it. It's fine. You can just kill it with like, don't kill it with mineral probes. Do not kill it with mineral probes. Remember, mineral priority. Kill it with new probes that can be your gas probes. Get your gas eventually. Don't do it like, don't prioritize it. Be like, I don't want to mine minerals anymore. I need to kill that gas. Don't do that. Okay, so let's build our gas now. Right click these probes onto it. And right click my Nexus down to my natural. Let's get our warp gate upgrade. Let's make a pylon over here. So we can, you know, set up a battery soon, which is what we're going to want to get. And again, if this gas was like more than halfway done, I would have said, let your first stalker kill it. Don't worry about killing it with your probes. That's a waste of your time otherwise. Okay, let's build our battery. Put our, let's get ready to build our robo and our second gateway. We'll build it with like this probe coming out of the Nexus or something. So grab the probe when he pops out, like right here. Go build a second robo and a gateway. Add these into group 4. Rally group 4 down to here, to the pylon, to the battery, in front of the battery. Okay, we just went 4-5, 4-5. Checked our production. Okay, we're gonna shift right click this probe into the middle line once it builds a pylon. Nice. Keep building probes. 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. Chrono boost our probes. Now our warp gate's about done. We can start an observer. And we're about ready to start also our third base. So let's go start our Nexus over here. Put our stalkers down. Then make our probes. Okay, let's go ahead and make a couple more pylons in our base. Shift click the mineral line. Have this guy mine minerals. Grab these guys in our gas. And re-rally our Nexus to our third because we're going to be fully saturated here now. And we can even take one more probe off now and tell it go to the third base. Meanwhile, we're making stalkers, making immortals. Chrono boost our probes. Make probes. And all that good stuff, dude. All that good stuff, dude. Okay, so we're watching our money pretty closely right now. Another pound over here and maybe another pound over here. Again, it gives us a vision net that makes us feel safer, so we're not just like dealing with fog of war right next to our base. Make probes, make stalkers, make immortals. And we're watching our money. We're able to still keep it spent pretty well right now. Still able to still keep it spent pretty well, but it's going to start going up here pretty soon because our probe count's going up and our production's not. So it's going to, you know, it's going to be a factor. We're going to need to add production to it to fix that. Space is almost fully saturated, so what are we going to do? Let's go ahead and take another Nexus. Let's also make our production. Keep making probes. And now I would say, right about this point, we should probably do, again, what we talked about all the time. Let's start getting ready to add in our forges. Let's add in our council, and let's add in like maybe like 3 more gates. It's gonna happen very soon because we're not able to really keep producing anymore. We're getting kind of capped out here. So let's go forge, council, make a couple probes, and let's add in a couple gateways. We'll just add in like 2 gateways for now. Fuck it, 2 gateways because it seems like we're doing a pretty good job with our money. 2 gateways. Again, concept is all I want you to understand. It doesn't have to be an exact build, just concept. Our money was low, so we made less gateway. But we know we're getting high on probes. It's at 76, so we also need to transfer some away down to here. So yeah. Okay, stalker. Let's go ahead and also make our upgrades, shields and weapons. Chrono boost these bad boys. Add these gateways into our control group. And we're still looking pretty good. Okay, this base is at 23. Need to fix it. 3 probes off, go there. Send the Nexus all this way and grab 1 probe off. And let's even take another base, and the reason why is because we're still making probes. We're almost done, but this base is also almost fully saturated, so we need another base. So take this probe, go build a base, build a couple pylons near it. Now let's build a couple stalkers. And an immortal.
I'm here in the shadows.
Okay. Chrono booster upgrades. Bobby, do you upload these videos to YouTube? Yes, I do. Yep. Okay, so let's put our probes that are oversaturated on again, another new base. Let's build a couple gases here. And let's rally all our nexus to the new base over here, because this base is now fully saturated, because 6 of those are going to go on the gas. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go for a couple more pylons. And look at our money. It's getting real high, right? So now, let's try and spend our resources here with 4 or 5. We're done making probes, but we still need to make immortals and stalkers. We need to get a archives. We need to transfer some probes as well to a new base, because they're oversaturated. We also need to make more gateways. And like 1 more robo would be good too. So put a robo there. We have currently 5 production buildings, so we have now 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now let go of shift, hold shift, right click a mineral patch. Now we have the ability, because we had a lot of money there and we were doing kind of a good job early on, then we kind of dropped off a bit, and now we still want to max out as quick as we can, but our money is getting crazy high now. And now we also have the ability to not only make gas heavy units, but also mineral heavy units. Let's go and start 2-2 upgrades. Let's group all these gateways we just made into our base. So control click them, shift click this gateway, shift 4. And now we have 20 production buildings in our group. Okay, good stuff. And we need 1 more pylon so we don't supply block, and we're super close to maxing out. This base is fixed. Let's make some more stalkers here. Okay, I'm waiting for more gateways to finish now. Before we can continue. Let's chrono boost our upgrades, because they were still warping in. And now we can actually make 2 mortals. 2 mortals, and now we maxed out at 10 minutes and 12 seconds. So again, super close to what we were at before. We can also grab a stalker. Again, we did this a little bit late now this time with the stalker thing. Let's have 1 stalker check the right side, one stalker check the left side, because now you don't want to be maxed out and sitting here, because every second we sit here now, our opponent is having more time to get closer to maxing out with us, if we ever had a macro lead here. So we're giving him time to prepare more defense here. So we should have done this stalker move out probably around like 150 supply to make ourselves feel like with a good timing, like we're actually doing a crisp timing, because now look at this. We maxed out at 10-12, and we're not actually finding out where we want to attack until finally 10-50, and now we go, okay, A move, shift A move, shift A move. Definitely wasted some time there. So you want to make sure you move out with those stalkers to scout before you max. Okay. So there we go, chrono booster upgrades. This base is good, this base is good, this base is not good, fix. This base is good, transfer probes. This base is getting kind of saturated, so let's go ahead and build a couple of gases. This base is again not good. Let's build a nexus up here. Build a couple pylons near it. shift right click the mineral line. Let's grab another probe and send it down here. And we're building out another nexus because this probe, or this nexus is getting super close to full saturation. Now, let's go ahead and go back to making immortals, making stalkers. Why are we doing that? With stalkers right now, look at our resources. It's still mineral focused. So we're just going to make stalkers because it's still mineral focused. Just because we're trying to understand how to optimally keep our supply high with current value of what things cost. So Stalker Immortal costs more mineral than gas. So if we have more mineral than gas, we'll make Stalker Immortal. Move your mouse around and just build shit. I don't care where you build it. Maybe don't build it on that ramp right there, but because it's kind of a wall in. But still try to just build it. Let's get 3 upgrades. 3 upgrades. Go, go, go. Okay, let's do another round. Once we can. Stalker, 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 stalker. Okay, we're maxed out. So now we can take our army. A move is natural. A move is main base. Fix our economy. Fix our economy. Put a couple guys on gas. And why? Because we can go Archons if we want to now. We have the option to do that. Okay. What's happening here? He's attacking us. That's okay. He's currently killing us, so let's do this. Make some stalkers here. And now our stalkers will fight the battle. Now look at our probe count. It's not great, so let's hold down the probe button. Let's re-rally to the place where probes just died. Go back to chrono boosting my upgrades. And now since he attacked me, let's go ahead and build cannon battery. Okay, this was obviously not the Masters guy. Cannon battery at our bases. There's legit a Masters player named Mystic, and I was like, is this really this guy now? Good God. But it wasn't him, obviously. So now we can be like, cool. If these guys are going to attack us while we attack, we can just add in cannon battery. So we're doing this as like a countermeasure to like keeping our bases safe, right? And we're doing it as a reaction to if someone attacks us, let's now try to make cannon battery to not die. Just to look at supply again really fast. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you guys are getting to the point by now. Supply should be always in your favor, right? And now look at this. Remember the example we said where we maxed out at 10-12? At 10-12, our opponent's at, remember this, 113 supply at 10-12. How much time goes by before we see where his base is? And we finally decided to move out right around 10:50. So we gave our opponent an additional like 40 seconds, roughly, to prepare for this. And in 40 seconds, our opponent's supply did go up a little bit. Not a ton, but it did go up a little bit. And I feel like it might not have gone up a ton because, again, efficiency versus non-efficiency. But giving your opponent 40 extra seconds to prepare for your attack when you're already maxed is not, again, not ideal, right? It's not ideal. So you definitely want to make sure you prioritize that. Okay, now we finally go to his base. We run into a tank and a PF. More tanks shooting us from the high ground. It's okay. We don't care. We'll throw bodies at him over and over and over. And as the army dies, the story always repeats itself, guys. As we lose an army that's more than twice the value of what he lost, he probably feels so good about that. He's like, damn, I just destroyed your army. He destroys my army, right? He destroys it. And he takes a really good trade there because he was microing and I wasn't. But I still did damage to him either way. It's not like I did nothing. And then as he sets up to go attack me again, what happens? I have the exact same army that just died already going to attack him again. He doesn't have the same army that he had a second ago. It doesn't exist. He's down in supply even more than he was before. And now as units start to die, and I'm like, oh shit, he's attacking me. Do I turn my army around? No, I don't care. I don't care at all. I just warp in new stalkers to go, hey, new warp-ins. Deal with the attack. And then this army gets dealt with. And then I make probes again. And how do I make probes? This army's also losing supply because I'm pushing his base at the same time. So I'm fixing all the probes that just died. All of them are getting rebuilt. The 20 workers that have died for me are getting, because again, this is workers killed. I know a lot of people always think, Vibe, it's red, it's not you. Workers killed means how many workers this player killed. So he killed 20 of my probes. I'm fixing that really quickly by going right back up to 85. By making probes right after I made stalker warpins to kill his pressure. I didn't micro it at all. I just warped into the area. That's all I did. And if my stalkers weren't aggroing and the Marines were like way down here and I made it up here, I could just control click my stalkers to go move the area. And that would be totally fine again. That'd be super good. And that's it, dude. That's it, dude. You can do it, guys. I believe in you. I believe in you, people. Okay. Hopefully the last game for this video. This video has been really long again. Okay, we're playing a Terran player. Nice. Nice, dude. Okay. So Terran, not Zerg. If it's not Zerg, we don't have to worry about the wall. Who cares? Just put it anywhere you want. Or no wall, rather. You don't have to do a wall right now. It's fine. We'll talk more about how to properly wall as we get higher league against Protoss and Terran. Because again, the things about the reason, anyone out there who's wondering why, they're like, Vibe, why do you tell us about how to deal with Zerg wall? But why is it not important to learn about Terran and Protoss walls right now? Please explain. The reason why is because low-level Zerg players can abuse, they will abuse Protoss if you don't have a wall, just like high-level Zerg players will, which is just making a lot of Zerglings at the start of the game and attacking you. It's not that hard to do that. But only high-level Terrans and high-level Protosses will abuse you if you don't build a wall correctly against them, because that comes down to multitasking with harassment. It's way more advanced than just all-inning with Zerglings. So it doesn't matter as much with Terran and Protoss until like we get to probably Platinum League. Oh, so I got a scout? I didn't scout. Let's scout now. Right-click his mineral line. Shift, right-click my mineral line at both naturals. Let's go take our natural. Let's go take our own natural at the same time. Build our nexus at our natural. Come back up. Mine the gas. Build another probe. Build another probe, dude. Hell yes. Hell yes, dude. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a nether gas and a pylon. Whoops. So look, no natural on the minimap. We see that on the minimap right now. We're starting to pay. This is also teaching you to pay a little bit of attention to the minimap. We go, okay, probe just got to his base, and I don't see any red over there. No nexus means we make battery. We do the opposite of what is there. If there is a nexus, we don't make a battery. If there isn't a nexus, we do make a battery. Or a command center, whatever race he is. Terran or Protoss. Or a Zerg, even. Just batteries based off of if they expanded or not. Okay. So now we can rally our probes to the natural. We can rally our stalkers to the natural. We can make a pylon at the natural because we want to make a battery. And start mining the natural. We can chrono boost our nexus as well. Make probes. Make stalkers. Make stackers. Make a robo when we can afford it. And pair that with a gateway. Mass Hellion run by incoming. You see, those are the kinds of comments where I go, this guy clearly doesn't know what Silver League looks like. Do you think a Silver player is going to go Mass Hellion run by? And you know what a Silver player would do if they even did go Mass Hellion run by? They would probably take 4 gases and make 2 factories. And then by the time they do a Hellion run by, they'd have like 2,200 gas in the bank because they're like, well, I mean, I made gases to make factories, but I didn't realize I'm making units that cost only 100 minerals each time. No, they're not going to go for a Hellion run by. Jesus. Okay. So we're gonna go into a pylon now again. Nice. Cool. That's where economy management comes in. Again, guys, you gotta realize, Silver League doesn't even know how to manage an economy in general. The average Silver player that has not watched any StarCraft is gonna play StarCraft and be like, I'm on a mineral line of 8 workers. Let's double gas this bad boy, because I feel like I should, right? They just don't know. They don't understand yet, because they have no idea. They don't have enough experience yet, or they haven't seen enough gameplay as to what's actually good. Okay, so we have an observer. We have a fully saturated base. We just made stalkers. Let's make our nexus. Let's make a couple pylons, boy. Let's make a couple probes. Nice. Let's make our gases now, because we're fully saturated. Again, mineral priority. Let's make another pylon over here, just because it's an area that doesn't have a pylon yet, and it's the edge of my base as well, so it gives me more vision. Let's make another immortal. Let's chrono boost our probes again for a moment. Okay, keep making probes, and we're good. All right, saturate our nexus, or our gas rather, properly. Let's go ahead and make our units. Our no battery. Oh shit, my bad. Sorry, I totally forgot. If you forget, here's the thing: if you forget and you're like, oh god, he never had a natural, make a battery. Just make a battery. If you don't make a battery, your chances of, again, does it mean you're gonna die if you don't make a battery? No, but your chances definitely go up if you don't make a battery to die. You need a battery. If he doesn't have a natural, you need a battery at the natural, because if he all ends you and you don't have a battery, it's gonna change the effectiveness of how good or bad your defense is gonna be. Like, it's gonna be bad. Generally speaking, unless you just outmacro him. Battery's so good at not dying if they don't have a natural. And then, again, that's our first step into scouting is this guy going to expand or not? If not right away, battery's going to help a lot at not dying. So yeah, we made a battery late, but guess what? It's still fine. We still made it eventually. And he still never attacked. So the fact that he didn't make a natural and he didn't attack bodes well for us, because it means his build is potentially less efficient. Okay, so let's make our upgrades. Make our forges. Why are we doing this? We have a lot of money, so let's add stuff to it. We're also producing still, so we need to spend our money somehow. So now we add more production. We just added 2 gates on top of our other 2 gates of Robo, and we added our double forge and our tech. Make more stalker, make an immortal. We're fully saturated, so what do we do now? We go ahead and build another nexus. Does Vibe not Q2 probes per nexus this time? No, you can do that. What I'm saying is you need to build workers the entire time. You totally can build workers the entire time. You can do the 2Q trick. I don't give a shit. Just fucking build workers. Just build workers. It doesn't have to be like fucking like I'm teaching how to finger paint anymore, where it's like, get green paint and put it on the paper and circle it. Build 2 probes every time. Just fucking make sure you're going 4. The thing now is 4, 5, 4, 5. Are you producing? If you're not producing, produce. If it makes you feel comfortable to put 2 probes on it, put 2 probes on it. If you want to have 1 probe on it, you should be checking 4 or 5 more often than the time it takes you to build a probe. You shouldn't be checking it once every 30 seconds. You should be doing it once every like 5, 6 seconds. A lot. You should be doing it a lot. Sorry, I get ridiculous sometimes, but you get my point. Like, check it often. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here is 4, 5, 4 or 5. Okay. Make some more probes. What are we at probe-wise? We're at 75. We're almost done. Let's fix this base. Put some gases down. And let's grab a chunk of probes and go, hey, probes, go to this new base. Okay, good shit. Now, what's my probe count look like? We're still at 23. No, we're at 22. It actually worked out perfect. Cool. Let's go ahead and rally all my nexus over here. Put this probe on this nexus as well, and we're good to go. Probe count is basically done. We're at 82. We just need 3 more, and we're good. Make some more stalker. Make an immortal. Chrono boost our upgrades. Let's fix our economy here. Set it down elsewhere. Look, fully saturated. What do we do? Keeps happening every time, guys. Keeps happening every time, man. Every time. Okay, let's build another robo. Let's build a bunch more gates. I like finger painting. You guys get the point, though. I just want you to check your economy. I want you to check your production. Don't forget about don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. How many gateways did I just make? I don't fucking know. Do I really care how much I made? No, not really. I'll figure it out when I add them all into my control group after I'm done. As long as I'm in the range of around 20 to 24. Okay, let's grab a bunch of probes off this and send them down. The fact that I now have 7 out of 8 is okay, because they're going somewhere else that's going to be efficient, which is also okay. Fix our gas here. Fix our gas here. Now this base is perfect. Make some stalkers. Make our immortal. We need to throw down more tech as well, because we need to get our Templar Archives. Okay, we got all of our buildings now. We're selecting in our control group. And we have 21. Awesome. 21's great. 21 works. It's in between 20 and 24. Okay, we're going to go for shields and weapons. And now, remember how last time we fucked up we waited for like 40 seconds to move out? How about this time? We do it right now. Hey, 2 stalkers, go. 2 stalkers, go. Or, sorry, 1 stalker on each side, which is 2 total, go. We're checking every base in the map all over again. And now, ideally, we're going to check that before we get to his base. And look, I'm looking at the Nexus as I make these stalkers, and I go, whoops, I forgot to fix that Nexus. I also maxed out like 3 seconds faster than last time. But am I going to wait for 40 seconds like I did last time? I maxed out at 10:09. And now I know there's no third base there. And now I know there's no third base there. So now we go. A move, shift A move. I did not wait 40 seconds this time. This time I waited about 15 seconds. Still not perfect, but definitely, guys, guess what? We're improving. We're practicing. We're trying to remember these things and go, let's try to be more efficient about how we play this game. Let's not waste a bunch of time doing nothing with our finger up our butt. Okay, let's fix our economy. Good. Not good. Fix it. Now it's good. This base is getting pretty high. Let's take another base. And now again, what are we going to do here? We're going to look at the supply and go, hey, we need to make supply. Look at our money. We got to go, oh, we have a lot of minerals and not a ton of gas. We have like more double minerals to gas. So let's make a bunch of stalkers then. Nice. Good stuff. We can make our gases here. Check our economy. Still having a problem here. Fix that. This one's still good. This one's still good. Good. And fix it over, like send it down here. Nice. And now we can go back all over again and check and see where we're at in terms of supply with our opponent, and you know how the supply goes. So efficiency versus non-efficiency. Our opponent never expanded, right? Our opponent never expanded, and instead is setting up Age of Empires Age of Empires Definitive Edition bases right now with bunkers and widow mines and turrets. This base is like, it's almost like a scene in a movie where you're like, get the widow mines in formation, get the bunkers set up, we need turrets. It's like, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. But this game is not about making a beautiful base. It's about doing something fast. And you know, we're sitting on one base for so long where we're on 22 workers versus 82 workers, and this economy is not even remotely close together. So this is a player who just does not fully respect the economy of this aspect of this game yet, and this game requires you to respect the economy. You have to make workers to advance in this game. You do. If you don't make workers, the only option is you have to all in. That's it. That's the only option you have. If you don't all in and you also don't make workers, you're going to lose 100% of the time to anybody who's like above Diamond League. Every single time.
Oh, yeah.
So, when we show up...
Look, I'm on YouTube.
Oh!
B2GM got me to Plat 1.
Whoa!
Diamond is next.
Whoa!
Thanks, Vibe.
Thank you very much, Viking Plague, for the, thank you, Viking Plague, for the, 713 sub, and Civilian Email, thank you for the
Just
bits.
binged your last B2GM and my max out improved by nearly 2 minutes in 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Much love.
Nice, that's awesome. See, like, you can improve super fast. Thank you very much for the donations, guys, and the sub. Much appreciated. These are not paid actors, guys. These are real players with real macro results, okay? Now, we're pushing into this guy's base who has 65 supply, right? And so far, before we've killed anything, look, holy shit, that's a great trade. He's killed 5 of my units, and he's killed 875 resources of my supply so far. He's so far, it's set up well. It initially punched me in the face really hard, and I took a little bit of a hit. But overall, again, doesn't matter. I can easily lose that, and within a minute, I have more than like recovered everything I've lost. I've even if you take off those amount of resources, in 1 minute, I still mine like 5 times more than he has. With that negative. So again, economy is God. Economy is king of everything. And now it just doesn't matter about anything because he just doesn't have enough, so he's just gonna die. We just have way too much. And there you go. Nice. So there is, I would say, like the best way I would finally sum up this, because I know this is going to be our promotion game. The final way I would like to sum up this video is other strategy games you might get away with shit like that, and you could like make it work. But I want you to know something. In StarCraft, this game is the most RTS real-time strategy. It's the most like Blizzard RTS is the most RTS game I've ever played personally. And it means that you really have to keep a pace of speed in this game. And if you don't, you will die. That's the whole reason why this entire time so far in all of these videos, I have not told you, let's sit back here for a second. Let's think about this. No, all I'm trying to do is build up your mechanics and build up your muscle memory for speed. And once it's at a sufficient pace, then we can be like, let's think about this while I'm macroing at 200 APM right now and go, what should I do next? Because you can handle it. Because you can actually do it then. And it's not something where you're going to be like, hands off the keyboard on both of them and be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Let's figure it out. Let's mess around for some stuff. StarCraft has a pace of speed that is required to get better. And the only way you can do it is if you go, I mean, realistically, you don't have to do my exact steps. I'm not saying my way is the only way you can get better at StarCraft. But what I am saying is
Finally,
hold on, Grandfather. I'll play that in a second. I appreciate it, dude. What I am saying is, though, if you understand, sorry, that donation really interrupted my train of thought. If you just focus on macro, it's a checkpoint for how quickly you can do stuff in this game. And once you get to a certain speed, you can still get better than that, but once you get to a certain speed, everything starts to open up and you're like, well, once you can macro faster than what the game macro requires. Okay? That's really what it is. So for instance, it's something like this. What if like making a probe takes 12 seconds to make? For every race, it takes 12 seconds. So every time you make a probe, you now have 12 seconds to do everything else before you have to come back and make a probe. If you can't do that within 12 seconds, whatever else you're doing, it means you're not fast enough. You should be able to do every single macro task within 12 seconds to make a probe when you're in the phase of the game of making probes. And if you can't do that, you just got to get quicker and quicker and quicker and practice it. So I'm just trying to build you up as a player, again, to speed you up. I'm just speeding you up. That's the whole point. That's all I'm doing, boys. That's all it is. It's all it's about.
Finally took your advice and realized you keep macroing and it clicked. In diamond now. Thanks, Vibe. Here is a body massage.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Grimfaith87 for the 5. You're beautiful. Just like the silver 2 badge we just got here. Appreciate you very much. And guys, thank you for watching the video. Body massages for all of you if you guys get this promotion, just go to your local massage parlor and say, give me the silver 2 edition, and you're gonna get it for free, dude. Happy endings for everybody. I'm just joking. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, Work on your macro some more. You're not done yet. It never ends. But keep it going. Keep up the progress. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.